Hello, everybody. It turns out that I'm the Avatar and you've got to deal with it. How's it going, everyone? I'm joined by Uzulu. How are you, Uzulu?
Hello. The Avatar in which sense?
The Avatar in the sense of this franchise has been taken over by SJWs and now they're going to promote diversity.
Right. Are you looking like upside down arrow or blue tentacle sex?
Oh, Jesus. Upside down arrow.
Right. Gotcha.
Anything that's blue tentacle sex, I'm probably just going to avoid on principle, to be honest. I'm that kind of guy. I'm a bit of a bigot in that way, to be honest. I know I shouldn't be, but man, some habits are hard to break, is all I'm saying. But
Speaking of bigotry,
yes, that leads us on to the first thing that we were going to talk about, wasn't it? Right. So so we were kind of trolling some SJWs on Twitter. Do you want to talk people through it quickly? What happened?
well, you see, Sargon. Last night, was it last night? Hold on, let me actually just find it. Find the tweet so I can tell this story properly. All right, I click on a tweet with me replying to Vadim saying "Don't care, Virgin," and I'll find it eventually.
So yeah.
All right, so yeah.
Instead of doing any actual work, right? So basically, I should have been doing some proper work this evening, and I'm sure Uzlu should have done as well. But instead of doing any of that, we kind of spent our time winding SJWs up. So go ahead.
Yeah. So 7 a.m. this morning, while I was still awake from last night. Don't tell anyone that I'm that disoriented from my sleeping pattern. I was just about to go to bed, and I had this crazy, stupid thought. And this is the tweet I sent. This is literally a type it in, send tweet moment.
Do you want to put it in?
People...
Do you want to put it in Symposium?
Sure.
I'll bring it up so you can.
Yeah, that works too. There it is.
Right. Okay.
I'll do a dramatic reading if you like.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll. Right. Go ahead.
All right. If only white people can be racist, then racist is an anti-white slur. You see? Logic. Logic.
Yeah, as Dusty Smith weighed in on this. Yeah. So
I'm sure Dusty would definitely agree.
Yeah, for anyone watching, this is obvious bait, right? And it's really good bait as well, because it's bait in the way that kind of plays into the framework of intersectionality, because they are actually convinced at this point that all white people are racist, that the entire white world is racist. All our institutions, our countries, obviously everything about us is racist. So you can't really argue from an intersectional position that it's not. You've kind of got to go outside of the bounds of intersectional ideology to establish that it's actually not. But sorry, Karen, I didn't mean to interrupt.
That is the funny thing about it, though, because everyone that responded is in this space between right up SJW and reasonable people.
Yeah.
Where they don't believe that literally everything is racist. They still want to use the term at least they say they use the term racist in the sense of people who are bigoted against other races. Whether they actually do on it is up to the discretion of the viewer.
Yes.
But they responded to this as if SJWs do not exist. So as if intersectionality itself is not like a present force in society.
Yeah, and we can even name people who would agree with this. I mean, like Monroe Bergdorf is the name that springs to mind, saying the white race is the most destructive force of nature to have ever existed and all this sort of stuff. And she literally did a BBC thing saying all white people are racist. So.
I think pretty much anyone who is both black and a intersectional type would agree that all white people are racist. I don't think you'd find a single one that wouldn't.
Yeah.
Like, what about was it Ramsey? What's her first name? Francesca Ramsey.
Francesca Ramsey.
With this, do you reckon?
No, she's too smart to fall for this.
I see.
She's too smart because she'll understand that the outer limits of intersectionality are bad, and so if you follow it dogmatically, it makes you look terrible. And she's in a space where she understands that that's the case. But you definitely get the sort of like ones who are cloistered away in academia or something who have come to this conclusion and stand by it.
So, yeah, the thing I should contextualize this by saying that even though I think that this is definitely true in a sense. I didn't post it because I thought it was true. I posted it because I thought it was funny. And as you said, bait.
Yeah.
Right?
Can people hear us then?
Sorry?
Yes. However...
Can people hear us then, or...?
Yeah, you're really loud, though.
You're not too loud for me.
Yeah. So are you.
Yeah, we are live.
Touche.
It's all right. I'll turn you down a bit.
Let me get the stream up so I can actually tell what the audio is doing. Because
No. You're fine now. Don't touch anything. I've modified your volume.
I'm not going to touch anything on my end. No, I'm just I'm going on your channel to make sure nothing's fucked up.
Well, that's probably wise. But yeah, I've sorted your audio. But yeah, go on. Sorry.
It was posted with the awareness that it was in some sense serious. I think if you give it a sensible reading and you're aware of the current cultural context, you can see it's true. But a lot of the respondents to my tweet, and by the way, 90% of them were not even trying to make arguments, but those that were pointing out that if you refer to a subset of a race as being something that is aligned with their behavior, then it can't be a racial slur. One person brought up the example that if some drivers can be drunk drivers, and if you then refer to all drivers as drunk drivers, then that's a slur. The thing is, it very easily could be. And I've thought of a couple examples, right? For example, I believe, and I hope I don't get your channel taken down for saying this, that the word wetback is referred to Mexican migrants, illegal immigrants.
Yeah.
And yet, if you use the word wetback on a Mexican that's not an illegal immigrant, would that not be a racial slur? Does it not basically apply to all Mexicans under the right context?
It would certainly be part of the implication of it.
Yeah. Same thing with the word boy for a black slave.
Yes.
It's for slaves, but it doesn't have to apply just to slaves.
But if you said boy to a black person that you didn't know just in the street, man, people would come down, and rightfully so. Don't get me wrong. It would definitely have like racial implications there, wouldn't it?
Yeah. And if the N-word, which I won't actually say because I know that one's a big no-no anyway, if it actually applied to like a particular classification of black person, if it applied to say 99.9% of them, would it actually be any different in modern conception? Would it still be a racial slur? Would people be like, nah, you're just describing a behavior. It's fine. It's fine.
No, obviously not.
Fucking bullshit. Of course not. Yeah. So the fact that racist has this association with a behavior and not with a race in the sort of definition, the dictionary definition, and in the conception of probably most people still, doesn't change the fact that to the kind of people that I'm really baiting here, or people that I'm pointing at here, they can't say that all white people are racist, and only white people can be racist, and also say that this word has nothing to do with race. They've locked themselves into that.
Mm-hmm. They're trapped in it, yeah. Which is why one species, the first reply is, do you know the original author of that?
Speaking of traps,
okay.
What was this Warpline Purple tweet about, eh?
I don't know. I don't run that account.
Well, in response to your question, Sargon, it was Vadim who was saying like something similar to this, which is that anti-racist is a code name for anti-white, that expression.
Yeah.
He was saying that comes from a famous racist. And I'm like, how long has it been, Vadim, since the first time someone told you about the fallacy ad hominem? How long has it been since you're still doing the same fucking thing? And I don't usually point out fallacies because it's kind of basic.
Yeah.
But sometimes you have to because they're just that obvious.
Well, I mean, Vadim doesn't care. Like, it's not like Vadim. No. I wouldn't call him a sort of an honest actor or anything. No. So,
no. 99.9% of the people criticizing me in response to this were just propagandists, agents of influence. They don't care about. They weren't looking for the truth. There were a few that were, but they were wrong. That's the problem.
Yeah, but what I love about this is it's effectively de-radicalizing them because they're like, oh no, all white people aren't racists. And what you really want to do is find chat. You definitely do this, right? Go and find some radical black activists who do say that all white people are racist, and just tag them. Just tag them in their responses. So, because you'll notice, like, look at this Michael Robinson guy. You know, not really. It doesn't claim all white people are racist. Or go and find a black activist to tell this white boy that no, all white people are racist. You know, like it's easy to find them.
Yeah, the thing is, you can respond to this in two different ways. If you're saying it's wrong from their perspective, you can either say that that's not what we believe, like to attack the premise.
Yeah.
Or you can attack the implicit conclusion that this is actually a criticism, what I'm saying here, and say, yeah, so what? Fuck whitey.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is going to be the perspective of the kind of person Sargon just asked you to find.
Yes. So it's one of those things where you've basically got them in both regards. It's quite wonderful, actually. I do love these kind of, dare I say, traps. So So yeah, this
Well, we've got
was
2 trap lovers in the chat.
Yeah, exactly, right. Let me just let me go through some super chats. Sorry, folks. I was watching. I just didn't know when to jump in with that. Right, thanks. Calm down, level up. Oh shit, it's boomer o'clock. Basically, I think everything's running okay though. Hopefully it'll last this time. I'll see what I can do. Is that even the screen? Yes, that was even the screen. I get
It is most definitely boomer o'clock though.
I get notifications for your stream, but not videos. Well, thanks YouTube for doing a good job. Thanks, Gabe. Any thoughts on the Cambridge U Jordan Peterson crap? So yeah, I haven't followed it very closely, but as I understand it, Cambridge University have rescinded some kind of fellowship from Jordan Peterson on the grounds that he's Jordan Peterson, and like Jordan Peterson's like, well, that seems kind of silly, and they're like, yeah, well, fuck white people or something. I don't know. They didn't say that, but like that. I mean, I'm sure that's the thought going in the back of their head.
You know, we're gonna read their statement and find that's the opening sentence.
That is a very big is what that is.
Yeah, exactly. Really makes me think.
Really activates those almonds.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but that's the thing. Like there is no particular reason to do it. Jordan Peterson is. I mean, in my opinion, he should be like the least controversial person on earth. But really, he's not, because he's opposing the radical left, and that's just all this is about. All of it. The only people they ever target are the people who are credible and in opposition to the radical left. End of story. Thanks. Lazy shit posting streams are the best streams. Yes, they are. Two Sargoid live streams in 2 days. # blessed mocha latte. Yeah, man, I've really enjoyed. I really missed live streaming. It was really good fun. I would do it more often, to be honest, if I hadn't been banned for 3 months. When am I going on Joe Rogan? How much? Again? Oh, sorry, go on.
Sorry, chat. How much will you pay me to get Sargon another community strike so he can't stream anymore?
Don't. When are you going on Joe Rogan again? Whenever he asks, really. But I mean, whenever I'm in the US, I suppose. Completely random, but Sebastian Gorka watches your stuff. Now, I had to kind of just quickly look him up. I knew the name, but I couldn't remember exactly what he did. But he's a British-born Hungarian-American military and intelligence analyst and former dean at the National Defense University, who served as the deputy assistant to Donald Trump in 2017. That's really interesting, because there was another one of these guys who watches my videos as well. I can't remember his name offhand, but he tweeted out, like, you know, you guys are really missing a trick by not watching Sargon. I was just like, wow, that's fucking flattering. So all I'm saying is these guys have got good taste.
I'm saying they're wrong, and Sargon should move away from his microphone occasionally, but...
What?
Can I ask you a question? Like, when you were in that stream and you were the booming boomer, was that hotel room literally the size of your microphone in your head? Because if not, you could have moved a couple of it.
I couldn't, because when I'm in hotel rooms, I mean, often the desks are tiny, and I just didn't have any other space. So there's
oh, yeah, they are pretty dire, to be fair. But...
Yeah. You promised to give us a $10 tier on Subscribestar. You still haven't. How often do I have to give you YouTube money till you learn? Oh man, that's a good point. I'll have to ask Discordia, basically. Yeah, I knew. As soon as you said that, as soon as I said that, you were just sat there with visions of Matt Myers coming.
Yes, it's the Matt Myers tier. Call it the bold meme man tier.
I should. I really should.
Did I ever tell you about the Matt Myers truce? That we became friends at one point, and then he decided to block me anyway.
Yeah, but aren't you responsible for like years of mimetic terrorism against him?
Well, the thing is, he thought we were harassing him, but like I spoke to him, I was like, no, you just have a really memeable head. It's like, it has nothing really to do with you. Just like, you have a really memeable head. It fits in lots of pictures. Like, I have nothing against you as a person. You just...
Oh, come on. Hang on. Stop right there. Isn't he a gay furry?
I mean, yes, he will get the gas too, but you know, there's my list of people who will get the gas is quite long at this point.
Scrum, are you not at the head of that list?
What do you mean? Apparently, according to Twitter, I am a gay furry terrorist because I'm a member of alt furry, according to the furry community. That's what they said when the Cal Arts thing happened. Like, oh, this Scrump guy, he's a Nazi furry. I'm like, excuse me? Excuse
that's a good idea, Scum. Let's keep attacking sexual deviants. That's a great idea, Scum. How big is your girlfriend's penis? Sorry.
Anyway, moving on very swiftly.
That's between me and some very disapproving gods.
Yes. Ninja Work asks, can I donate your MEP campaign?
The correct answer to that, Oozly, is bigger than yours.
Yeah, I'm sure that's the correct answer, Scrump, so that you don't get yours twisted off.
Do you want to start this, Lou? 'Cause we will
Anyway, you guys can handle your
start.
fetishes
I'm
in
gonna
private.
act this audio right now. Don't fucking test.
Ninjawork says, "Can I donate to your MEP campaign?" Dude, I don't have an MEP campaign. That was the Guardian saying that I was going to run as an MEP. I still don't think MEP elections are actually going to happen. I think that something will happen to prevent us from running in them. But that's because I'm an optimist. Pathfinder over D&D, you tabletop boomer. Well, yeah, that's probably true, to be honest. Especially 5th edition. I fucking hate 5th edition. Play Sekiro. Wait, this is the new game that's terrorizing game journos, isn't it?
Yes, it's Weeb Souls, basically.
Weeb
Oh, it is.
Souls.
It is basic. No, it's basically Samurai Dark Souls. Some of the mechanics.
It's got a lot
different.
more
Yeah.
verticality, but
Yeah, it does.
otherwise it's pretty similar.
Right.
Oh
Okay.
god, they're so mad about it that they want an easy mode so badly because they can't. finish the
Yeah.
game. Turned out today, a guy who's a quadriplegic finished it.
Yeah.
Good
I'm
for
thinking
him.
a few years from now
Game-
it'll be
game-
like normal, easy, beginner, like disabled game journalist.
Ha 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 ha. How is game journalism real? Like, nigga, just get better at the game.
Well, they can't. That would require them to play games. What they would rather
I would
do
require
is
them to want to play games.
well, yeah,
Oh
exactly.
shit! I just had a heated gamer moment there, didn't I? Whoops.
Did YouTube give everyone $2? Like, for some reason, people keep saying YouTube's $2, and then they send me $2, and I'm like,
It might come with YouTube Red or something.
right, okay.
Well, you're only getting 60p of it, aren't you? Oh no, is it YouTube that takes 30%? Or
Yeah, YouTube takes 30%. Yeah, but thank
Thank
you.
Yeah, £1.40.
Yeah, wound up going out to the pub with a couple of friends yesterday after what you said. Really feel a lot better now. Cheers for that. Good. I can't even remember what I said now, but I'm glad that you had a good time and you feel better. And thanks, Alex Ellsworth. Sup, Sargon, great speech the other day. Have some euros. Man, I feel like a traitor for taking euros. I'm not sure if I should. Can I refund?
No, it's okay. You're
That's the currency of the enemy.
removing,
Yeah, exactly.
You're removing euros from the world, which actually is what we plan to do with gas later.
Fallacies are basic. Was that an ad hominem? No, I don't think so. I think that's fair criticism. I think anyone who sits there harping on about fallacies is basically a basic bitch and isn't really
They've
contributing.
just started. They've just started in the realm of argumentation, and they think that pointing out fallacies is like the end of it. An argument can be fallacious and still point to something true.
Yeah,
In fact,
absolutely.
a statement can even be incorrect and point to something true.
There's something called the fallacy, which is what you're talking about.
Yeah, but the thing is, people also use the fallacy on the fallacy. They use it wrong.
Yes.
It's just fallacies all the way down, folks. It's fallacyception.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, nobody's using sound reasoning. So at the end of the day,
Yeah.
fuck it. Would you ever do history content again? I really enjoyed it, and we should do more. Yeah, I am currently working on the Good Christians. It's a big project, and the thing is, I'm really busy with politics at the moment, apparently, and so I've been traveling a lot, so I haven't had a huge amount of time to work on it. But I am. It is still in process. It's basically I work on it when I'm on trains at the moment. But it is still coming along. It's just not as quickly as I would have liked. But I'll tell you what, it's going to be a fucking knockout when it comes out. Place the dominoes and knock them over. Exactly. Great shitpost, lads. Yes, exactly. Any upcoming debates planned? No, but I mean, like any SJWs can just message me or DM me or something, and then we'll get them on. We'll have talk to them, see what they think of anything. I guess I'm not adverse to having a chat with them. Here's my free YouTube Premium money for you. Oh, thank you, Sean. Right, okay, that answers the question. Right, so YouTube gave everyone... And let's just be clear. When they say we're giving you $2, what they mean is we opened up our spreadsheet or our database and added a 2 to your personal account. It didn't cost them any money.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it'll cost them money when they give it to us, but like... How pretty is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez in your view?
Moose says Scrump has fallen for the phallic fallacy, which I was about to make a joke about that. But
Well, go on, lads. How would you rate Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez?
what, like attractiveness?
Butterface.
Well, she has like crazy eyes, and like I don't fuck with crazy eyes, so
For me,
You
it's...
turn her around. You can turn her around the other way. You know.
I know, but I still know they're there.
For me, it's the personality, though. She seems really insufferable.
Oh, you normie. You
No, but she-
normie.
Well, look,
No, like really, because you have most of the time you spend with someone you're in a relationship with, you're not balls deep in her pussy.
yeah, exactly.
So-
and
But
and
guys,
it
the question
personality
isn't
does matter.
would you engage in a loving relationship with this? It's would you fuck them?
yeah, but that's the thing. It's like, how attractive do I find them? It's like physically. I mean, a body's like
not ugly.
A body's a high, sort of 8, but like her face her face
Generous.
is yeah. Well, no, she looks like she's got a good body and everything, but like
Yeah, the body's not bad.
her face is kind of, I don't know, I'd say a 6, probably 6 or 7.
She reminds me of if you took the face paint off the Wicked Witch of the West, she would kind of look like that.
Jesus. Okay. Seems
my
harsh.
rating
Anyone
is-
out there has a fetish for toothy blowjobs, you know where to go.
Oof,
Yeah,
oof.
but the thing is, all of those
Should be.
things, all those things are sort of like, you know, surface level considerations. Because at the end of the day, she just strikes me as the sort of woman who would be on your ass about everything all the time.
Yeah,
all
and
the
I'd just be like,
time.
oh God, yes, I know we've only got 12 years until we all die.
kind of wheat bread.
Yes,
Oh my god, yeah.
there is
I said I
water
want
on the
organic
bathroom
rye
floor. It's like, well, yeah, I just had a shower, bitch. What'd you expect?
Yeah,
Like,
that's why you
imagine-
convert to MGTOW for the time that you're with her and just pump and dump.
I guess I'd have to.
Imagine like
God.
discussing with her like what kind of car you're going to buy, or what is anything, any moderate to big decision, and how it would just be.
And
Just-
the thing is that would probably be not so bad. It's the minor ones that I would have a problem with. Exactly, it would be the sort of bread you bought, and she'd be
ban planes. Do you think trying to get a car with her would be easy?
no, but at least you don't have to do that very often. But every fucking week there'd be something about like, you know, I left breadcrumbs in the butter or something. Oh fuck, you know, it would just be like,
Fucking
oh
hell. Well,
bitch,
what's the
I'm-
fucly point if the butter's going on the bread anyway?
Yeah, exactly.
And
It just-
don't even get me started on, honey, you earn more than me.
we need to socialize this relationship.
Excuse me, you should be contributing more to this household.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm being, you know, you don't appreciate my free labor.
I
Right.
feel like I should manage the house's finances.
Right, so I've got a good message here from a chap called UKIP Adam. Do you want to help promote my UKIP councillor run? I'll be documenting on my channel as social media is going to become an even bigger part of campaigns. Yes, Adam. Send me an email at sargonaccount at 100@gmail.com and you'll get an automatic response with an email for Callum, whose email I really should remember because then I wouldn't have to go through this process. But email Callum and we'll set up an interview, man. And we'll just do.
Why is there just GIF on the stream? There's just like a repeating GIF.
Because I'm the avatar
Why
and
does
you
she
got to
look
deal with it. Honestly, sorry, go on.
Why does she look pregnant?
I don't know, it's
that
Charles.
intentional?
No, it's a baby. It's meant to be a fat baby, I think, a fat toddler. But it's the most unbelievably insufferable. I don't know. I love the original Avatar series and the Legend of Korra. The first season was good because of the bad guy, but the actual Korra character is unbelievably insufferable, and I don't.
Oh yeah, a lot of people say that. Like, Legend of
it's true.
Korra is ruined by Korra.
It's absolutely true, 100%. The Legend of Korra is ruined by Korra.
To give
Wait,
my
is
actual answer,
is she Magic Captain Marvel?
oh, basically.
Yeah. She's awful. She's just awful. And the thing is, it's not like some interesting things didn't even happen with the character. Like, what was the guy's name with the mask? I can't remember his name now. But it's been years since I watched it. But that character was actually really good and had some good interplay with her character. But her character is just so unbelievably insufferable for the whole thing. I just can't stand it. But have I read Atlas Shrugged? No, I haven't actually.
You actually haven't read Atlas?
No,
Shrugged?
I've got a
You
copy
should.
of it, but it's like a fucking doorstop.
It's
I've
a
just
big book. I really
yeah.
liked it. You know, I think it's worth a read.
Well, everyone says that, you know, it's and I'm sure it is worth a read, and you know, it probably is appealing to read, but like, I just don't have time. Economic ramifications for the UK with a no-deal Brexit. Economic ramifications for the EU. Well, it'll be bad for both, but it'll be worse for the European Union, in my opinion.
If nothing else, we're more flexible. So
Other countries,
I mean,
how do they survive?
Yes, somehow they manage. Somehow.
yeah.
Have
The
I?
only thing is that we're going to need to shed our ties, which have been established over a long time, but we will be able to do that much more easily than they will.
Yes, and not only that, like the European Union is a lot more unstable than Britain is. So any sort of upheaval that we experience from it, I mean, it's going to be people losing their jobs, you know, as we figure out what to do. But in the European Union, that becomes a much more sort of broad problem. Anyway, so have you seen the video "My Descent into the Alt-Right Pipeline" by Faraday Speaks? If not, you should watch it on stream. It's really cringe. No, but I didn't. Wasn't that the one that PSA Sitch and Friended were watching the other day? Because I watched their stream on it, and it was just boring, honestly. Not the stream, but the video itself. Oh yeah, Jordan Peterson took a photo with a fan with an offensive T-shirt about Islamophobia. Classic guilt by association.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. So I think I might have mentioned that to you guys that I think it was actually Vadim or it was someone else around him who was saying like
Imagine being
basically
around
not
Vadim.
constitute Islamophobia. Like it's a really good argument for him being an Islamophobe. And like, what's the chances he just didn't read the shirt? He probably had photos with hundreds of people that day.
Well, yeah, I
He's not even
can
looking
tell
at
you
the
how
shirt.
these things work because I went to one of his shows in London. Like 1,000 people will line up, and they walk
Yeah.
up to him, get a photo taken, shake his hand, and walk off. Walk up to him, and he like. Who the fuck knows? It's like the other day, like Jared Batten, UKIP leader, was was apparently allegedly photographed with some, I don't know, some crazy right wing guy. But it's like, who the fuck is this dude? You know, Jared didn't know who he was, but because they were photographed near each other.
It's so retarded. It's like with I remember those fucking. You guys remember Wosley? He kind of retarded. Yeah. He had like PewDiePie had Britney Venti on his video. It's like he was literally looking at like a streamers getting trolled compilation,
Right.
and just reacting and laughing to her getting trolled on a stream. And he was like, "Look, he's featuring alt-right people." It's like, one, he wasn't really promoting a channel, and two, it's literally a compilation on YouTube of streamers getting trolled. He probably doesn't really know who's on it.
And is she actually alt-right as well, or is
No,
she...
I was going to say she knows she's kind of in association with some people in that community, but I don't think she'd self-identify as that. I don't think she's like a white national. So
Well, she's not. Is she white?
Wosley needs to learn to respect her identity.
Yeah.
Like a good.
Did you even ask for her pronouns? Was
I hope he didn't just assume.
I don't know.
Sargon is a socialist. Changed my mind. Dar comrade. Some of you guys are pretty cool. Don't go to D&D on Wednesdays. So yeah, Scrum. Let's talk about your. Some of you guys are pretty cool tweets.
Oh come on! I've been doing them regularly, and they're not getting me in trouble. It's great.
I know.
My favorite one was like the Lego handgun one.
What did that cause?
Didn't cause anything. Not yet.
good.
I was like, I think I made like a YouTube headquarters joke at one point, and Patreon, and the Middle East, and London.
Which
and,
institution did your joke tweet put into lockdown today?
None of the thing is, I don't know why that happened because all of these are equally as ridiculous as the one that did that. It's just they took that one seriously for no fucking reason.
It's so funny.
I drew a fucking bean cartoon face on a fucking target. It was obviously ridiculous. And I wake up after like 18 hours on like a flight, and I'm like, wait, shit, what? I closed CalArts like 8 hours ago. What the fuck?
So,
guys,
Jose in the chat's like, can we change the GIF? And I'm sorry, Jose, you've got to deal with it.
Oh, for those who don't know, because some people sometimes who ask who I am, I'm the Scrump Man. I'm gonna shill. You can follow me for now for the next like probably month.
Yeah, and until his new Twitter account gets banned.
At Lord I occasionally do dump on the Scrump on Sharp at Attacker's channel. No, I don't make my own content. I'm lazy. So
Some of us have real jobs, is what you're saying.
yeah, some of us have like real jobs, and girlfriends in quotes. Also, to answer the Ocasio-Cortez question, 1 out of 10 doesn't even have a dick. So.
Well, I mean, can we get confirmation on that?
More information. Oh, right. Okay. Do we have to check? You see, that's the thing. That's what I don't like about the whole like North Carolina bathroom law thing. It's like you're gonna start checking.
Well, I feel like we should file a request for under the Freedom of Information Act. I think we have the right to know as taxpayers.
Freedom of cooch. Excuse me, ma'am.
I do love the fact that this GIF is triggering people in the chat.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, but you've got to deal with it. See, I fucking hate that attitude. That's the thing that really pissed me off about it. It's like, anyway. So join Scott Adams' WhenHub interface app. People can donate one time or recurring to you. I'm not familiar with it. I guess someone can educate me on that. When is Scrump joining the D&D campaign? I don't know.
You would never do it. All your schedules don't mesh up as it is. Add me in the mix and you're fucked.
Yeah, exactly.
I was the reason it took so long to get started anyway, because my job got really big.
The cart.
Like I was just like, here, take Dev. Dev's fine.
Zach says, I'm about to enter the lion's den known as university soon. Any advice on not getting thrown in the gulag? Don't talk politics. Don't be
You've
white.
got to sacrifice some of your pride. You've got to compartmentalize your pride.
Yeah. Don't
Okay,
do something silly though.
As somebody used to post on Paul quite a lot before it turned to like boomer conspiracy shit. Hide your power level, okay? Conceal your power level. Some of us have been doing it for years, so.
Okay, now everyone's going to say that you're a Nazi.
Of course I am.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I mean, you might as well. If they got a Nazi anyway, you might as well get some nice snazzy uniforms out of it.
Oh, fucking hell.
Nazi meme terrorists linked Sargon of Akkad.
You see, my girlfriend gets really mad when people call me a Nazi because she's kind of to the right of me. And she's like, I don't know.
She is.
I'm quite a basic bitch, fucking centrist, to be honest, in many ways.
Yeah.
Like, I'm very center right with nationalist leanings. But
I taught your girlfriend. I gave your girlfriend the phrase "daddy addy," and she liked it.
oh dear. Hey, woo. I'm sorry you guys have to put up with our obnoxiousness in this stuff. Many of us were had that day. But
Speaking of obnoxiousness, I hate to do this, but my doggo is very antsy right now. He needs a walk, so I'm going to go do that.
Does Boomer need walking?
Okay.
Yes. Yes, this particular boomer needs walking.
I keep making jokes about that every time.
Not the chat that boomer knows. Not the boomer that chat knows, rather.
Oh my god.
Well,
yeah.
you boomered that, didn't you, Islu? Jesus.
He usually has a dog called Boomer, and to be fair, he can work the mic better than Sargon can, so.
Have a demonstration if you like.
Is he going to woof? Give us.
I could make him woof.
So,
don't grab his balls. Christ.
the next one. How does it feel to have a video that seems to be slowly becoming... Jesus Christ. Right, Islu, I'm kicking you
Sorry,
out.
okay. I'm leaving.
Right, see you, man. Right, how does it feel to have a video that seems to be slowly becoming the de facto examination of Starship Troopers and Ra? I've seen it linked everywhere now. Pretty good. I worked really, really hard on it. So hopefully. Have I seen Short Fat Otaku's latest creation? Yes, and I also am aware that it's April Fool's Day today. Apparently, like 50 people unsubscribed from Short Fat Otaku's channel because they didn't realise it was April Fool's Day.
You didn't know he was a closet.
He was a closet jihadi, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me just see how many people missed the joke. Hang on a sec. Oh,
I don't think anyone would. I don't think our audience is that retarded, and two, I think people can look at a calendar these days.
Well, you say that, but he's got -29 for today, so it seems that some people missed the joke.
That's like misclick territory. That's like baby scrolling through YouTube. You've got 8 dislikes on this stream already, dude.
Well, yeah, but they're always going to be like
They're all
SJWs. Yeah, exactly. They're like Steve Shives, Christy Winters, Kevin Logan. You know, I could probably name them.
Christy Winters isn't doing too bad these days, isn't she? I thought she got a bit better. Is she still like doing D&D with V or something? Or
I don't know. The only time I ever hear from her is when she jumps in my mentions and spurgs out with like grandma gifs. I'm just like, okay, grandma. But look, I just want to say, I'm just looking at her social blade and she's doing great. She only lost 5 subscribers today. She's really winning. Mr. Marb, please run as an MEP. I'll pay. I don't know if I'll be able to, but
so I don't know. Is like super chat some kind of like femdom relationship? Like, I've always wondered that. Like, I don't know. Are you technically an ethos, Sargon? Is that what this is? You're like a political ethos.
I guess you could frame it that way. I don't know how else to. I mean, I guess, you know, if people are going to super chat me, I've got to answer the questions and stuff. So
sorry, I've just drunk a rather large amount of gin. So
no, don't worry.
What are you guys drinking?
I'm just drinking tea.
I got a rock star right now.
Woof. Bunch of boomers in here.
Yeah, I know, right? Thanks, Neo Carbine. Cuck super chatting with their useless socialist money. Thanks, Katie. Video on Manifesto when? Yeah, so I'm working on a big thing about the Christchurch shooting. I think that the heat of it has died down now, so it's safe to talk about. But the thing is, stuff keeps happening. Like, New Zealand continues to slowly turn themselves, or not even slowly, just rapidly transforms into a fascist state. And I want them to kind of stop eroding their civil liberties before I make a video on it to tell people how they've eroded their own civil liberties.
Are you going to wait for them to reach bottom?
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You're gonna wait for like the nightmare state of New Zealand.
Yeah.
They're already like There's already some stuff gone wrong where they tried to confiscate people's firearms.
Yeah, I mean, like his yeah, exactly right. So here's a just I literally just googled New Zealand, open it up. New Zealand seeks to rush through a ban on military-style weapons after mosque shootings. Why? It wasn't a New Zealander that did this. No one in New Zealand is responsible for what happened. Exactly. This will not prevent that. So anyway, that's New Zealand is just rushing to get. I mean, it's like they were literally for this whole time just sat on these civil liberties, going, "Well, I mean, fuck, I really hate that we've got these. There's just nothing we can do about them." And then poof, something happens, like, right, great, boom, 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 get them all, and it's like, okay, that's desperate to stop being free. I just realised I have $2 free to give you. Thank you. And they're not necessarily free. I mean, they come from YouTube. So if you give them to me, then I'll probably get deplatformed even quicker. Thanks, Matthew. Would taking dollars make you a separatist? No, I don't think that's how you'd describe it. And thanks, Sealine. This is a no Eurozone. I wish. Scrump has fallen for the phallic fallacy.
Yeah, we already read that one. Yeah,
yeah. You should watch Mauler's GDELB right now. I saw that you put it up, and I watched about 5 minutes of it, but I didn't have time to watch the whole thing. But it's a really good parody of games journalism. It's still his turn. 2020. The God Emperor should nuke Brussels. Well, can neither confirm nor deny. I'd make her look in the mirror while I plough her. Ugh. You can get the weird eyes coming at you, dude.
Not gonna lie, mate. That's a bit weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna judge. You know, I'm a bit messed up, but that's it's a bit weird, mate.
Thanks, Karma Collected. Cortez is as handsome a man as Rachel Maddow. Listen, right. Everyone's very mean to Rachel Maddow. She's a very fine, upstanding young man, and should be.
She's transitioned quite well, I will say.
It is convincing.
It's like a 6, maybe. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, if I found an Adam's apple, I wouldn't be surprised.
I am a Kiwi. Please say how bad New Zealand is now. Well, I mean, it looks bad. You tell me. You're the one who's on the ground. How awful. I mean, like, all we hear from outside of New Zealand is non-stop progressive propaganda. As far as foreigners would probably deduce from the coverage, no one in New Zealand disagrees with any of this. It's like the entire country said, yeah, fascism now, please, thank you. You know, it's no one in New Zealand disagrees, as far as we can tell from outsiders. And thanks again, Neo Carbine. Given your support for a third-party UKIP, will you be spending more time advocating for proportional representation in the future? Yeah, I would love to have proportional representation. Politics in the UK would change radically if we had proportional representation. And it would finally break the sort of two-party stranglehold. But they're not going to do it because it'll break the two-party stranglehold. And I mean, for example, if you look at the moment, like UKIP's up to like 9%, the Greens are at like 1%. And then the other two parties are sat there at like 35%. And it's like, who the fuck is voting Labour and Tories at this point?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Why would you vote for either of them? They are so ineffectual.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care if you vote for like the Liberal Democrats or, you know, the sort of like most hardcore Remainers of them all. You know, I don't care if you vote for them. Just don't vote for the fucking Tories or Labour at this point.
It's just, you are deliberately fucking yourself over. They've proven that.
Yeah. They are just parties that are concerned about the party. I mean, both of them. Literally, the reason the Tories are rallied around May is because they're looking at Labour and thinking, well, if we don't, this will be the end of the Conservative Party.
Everyone's talking about how popular May's deal is in comparison to their options. It's like, yeah, stupid. They keep trying to use the fucking Tory whip on them. She's threatening people. People are literally getting blackmailed and bribed to back that deal, and she still can't pass it.
And the other options, as Burko showed today, it's remain, or remain. You can choose. How would you like to remain? And it's like,
oh my god. I hope the Italians or someone grows some balls and just vetoes them extending it at some point. Just like, nah, fuck it.
Same here.
Let them hard Brexit. I'll be like, just please put us out of my misery.
Yeah. Yeah, just kick us out.
I was listening to Radio 4 today, some fucking SMP person. Like, yeah, you guys have a mandate, don't you? Oh, You have 1 million voters in Scotland. Yeah, you have a fifth of UKIP support base. You fucking anyway. She was, oh well, I'm proposing this legislation where the default would be that we revoke Article 50. And we think this is a good thing. It's like, oh wow, you're gonna make the default literally betraying the entire electorate. Well fucking done.
Yeah, that's gonna make people think really good things about the Scottish National Party.
I'm just, I don't know. I'm gonna start worrying if there's some kind of like magical. If you go to the hardware store and they're short of rope, it's time to start worrying. I think.
Yeah.
Like that's when Westminster starts sweating.
So I bought milk. AOC commie girlfriend. Did you think of the cow farts?
Oh my god!
I didn't even. Why not let Lou Levi do a next This Week in Stupid? Because I just don't know how regular I'm going to do them. I'll try and do them. Can we get anime titties or AOC deep fakes on Steam? Or I sure you mean on the stream, and the answer is no. Here, moving wealth away from the EU. Burn it down. Thanks, Christian.
Are you an anime titty racist? Do you not appreciate? Are you not a man of culture?
I'm not a man of culture, no. Although I did watch ER's videos on the Legend of Horror. It's good. It is good.
ER's fucking great. His Steven Universe stuff is absolute class.
Well, same with the Star Wars stuff, to be honest.
Yeah.
We're releasing a pretty shitposty comic on Indiegogo called One Pool, Journey of the One. Check it out. There we go. Any plans to visit Nottingham with Gerard? I'll ask. Sargon, how many videos have you made on your main channel? About 1,000 over about 5 years. So that's how big my YouTube dick is. On the Korra thing, Sargon, how did you feel about the "we're suddenly lesbians now" point in the last season? Dude, I have stopped watching that. So I have no idea that they're lesbians, but I can't say I'm surprised. Ryan says, hi, Rags.
Hello.
What happened with you and Kyle
still
Kalinske?
here.
Well, me and Kyle Kalinske had a very cordial relationship until he decided that he was too left-wing to talk to me. And that was the end of me talking to Kyle Kalinske, which is a real shame because I really enjoyed our conversations.
That makes me think he just sat by the phone, like crying. Why won't you call me back, Carl? Why won't you call me back?
Well, no, I was one thinking, why would you call me back? Yeah, exactly. I was weeping, and I was like, Kyle, man, we used to have really cool chats, and it was like really interesting conversations because he's obviously well up on his side of politics. I was well up on mine, so it meant we had a really good back and forth. And now he's like, no, he's too right wing. It's like, I think you're too left wing.
Sat there rocking back and forth, crying in the shower.
Yeah,
the crying game's playing.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, even if I disagree with him, at least he has rationale for why he believes what he believes, so he'll lay it out. You know,
I like those people. Those people, like I've talked to some of those people. It's like, I disagree with you, but you're pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly, and he's completely solid on certain points, like free speech, which is fantastic. So it's just like there is definitely like a baseline there from which we can at least have a discussion, but he won't do it now, so I don't know why.
That always disappoints me when you're like, oh, this person might actually talk to me, and then you're just like, oh wait, no, other people said you were evil, so I have to block you now.
Well, I'd already spoken to him a bunch of times, so. But here's some cash to keep you entertained at work. Good luck 1776ing the country. Thank you.
I've been instructed to call you a Jewish plant. I'm not going to say anything.
I do work for Mossad. I am reliably informed by the Nazis. Or it might be the Islamists, actually. Did you see that? The Christchurch Mosque?
Oh my god, yeah.
One of the fucking dudes like, I just have a feeling that this was Mossad. And it's like, yeah, okay, of course you do. But you have a feeling that everything's Mossad, don't you?
It's just, he's got like an astral nose.
Yeah, exactly.
I love the when the alt-right and like especially all of them, like the far left, the alt-right, like the hardcore Muslims, they always see Mossad everywhere.
Yes.
And it's like a litmus test for if you're a fucking nut job.
And that's right. The Mossad are sending Nazis in to shoot Muslims.
I remember
that's how
like
this works.
someone on Twitter like asked me if I was Jewish. I was like, do I look Jewish? Because I look very like Irish / Anglo.
Yeah,
and he was like, I don't know.
You do not look Jewish.
No, I do not look Jewish. He's like, I don't know. You could be a crypto kike. I'm like, what?
Just like a sneaky Jew.
It's like, yeah, you could be a Jew that doesn't look like a Jew.
That's just like a Jew, isn't it?
Like, you're such a sneaky Jew that you literally were the product of like 6 generations of breeding with the Goyim, so you looked less Jewish to infiltrate Goy society.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, they're playing the long game.
fucking.
They've been at this for like 2,000 years, haven't they? Since the
That
exile.
term
from
though,
Rome,
fucking
so.
crypto kite.
Yeah.
Like, how mental do you have to be?
Yeah. God, it's so paranoid. It is so paranoid. And it comes from everywhere as well. It's Labour, the Islamists, and the Nazis. And I'm just like, okay, but the Jews I know seem really cool and down to earth. That's what I'm saying.
There's certain things like I don't know. There's certain things I object to. Like there's certain Jewish people who are like, oh, you can't really date a Jewish girl, and that's like a trope in like American sitcoms. Remember The Big Bang Theory? It's like, oh, Howard, is she Jewish? And it's like, ah ha ha, that's so cute. But if it was like, oh, you can't date a black
seriously,
girl.
is she Jewish?
Is she black? That'd be really uncomfortable, and I find it like a massive point of hypocrisy. Like, oh, dating non-Jewish people, oh, ha ha ha, very funny. It's like, oh, oh, is she a black? Oh dear. It's just like it doesn't really sit well with me. But that's just my my perspective there.
Anyway, Ex Morbius. I've just finished a project where I listen over 100 hours of recommended social justice audiobooks. And I'm just wondering how to share my thoughts. YouTube, Medium, any recommendations? Yeah, write an article and send it across, and then I can go through it on a stream or something. And we can just talk about what you've discovered from your epic odyssey through SJW audiobooks.
I'm sorry. Have either of you two ever seen Ben Shapiro's sister?
Yes, it
You
looks
must-
like a sexy version of Ben Shapiro.
Oh my god, yeah.
Looks like
The
it.
Kazar Milkers.
Yeah, Jesus.
Someone just reminded me of that.
Tyrone Magnus made an interesting observation about his channel having more music copyright claims since Article 13 passed. Well, it's not been put into legislation, so that's just coincidence at the moment. Thanks, Miles.
I got to yesterday. My recent video got a copyright claim, so don't use Frolic from Curb Your Enthusiasm, or that'll get claimed.
How pretty is Rachel Maddow, in your opinion? From an ever increasingly less Marxist Brazil, Hugh. Man, Baczynski, you must be having a whale of a time over there these days. Just I watched the Trump-Bolsonaro meeting speech where they were talking, saying how they're going to cooperate and everything. And he literally calls out gender ideology and a bunch of other radically left stuff. And I'm like, you fucking legend. You've really got a good nose. Like, Bolsonaro is like my spirit animal. He wouldn't even rape you. So I'm waiting for more supplies, but I think we'll get plenty in the near future. AOC brand salt made by real Kekstani meme-mancers. In the gift, she clearly measures the gender pay gap and crushes male opposition. Come on, what are you guys, sexist? Exactly, you got to deal with it. I want you to succeed in regaining the UK sovereignty, but for the love of God, you need a tailored suit. I wasn't wearing a suit. At least get your jacket altered so you're not rolling your sleeves in like slag trying to hide a roast beef gash. Yeah, I need to get that. The problem is that I'm not very tall, but I am quite broad, and so to get a coat that fits across my shoulders, I have to get one that's like a size above, and so they assume that I've got long arms, which I don't. So it's kind of annoying, but I just haven't got around to it, to be honest. I'm standing in my local election for UKIP. What have you made me do, Sargon? Exactly. I made you do it, apparently. No, you did this yourself. You looked around and said, you know what? Someone has to fix this, and that someone is going to have to be me. Shake your beard for me, political ethos. Jesus Christ, there are a lot of these. If you like my avatar, you may like the Dragon Prince. Hey, Sargon, great stream. Love to hear your thoughts on what happens when Hollywood discovers the Warhammer 40k franchise. What do you reckon will happen?
What happened when the video game industry discovered it?
It's going to get diverse, isn't it? You know what they have, actually? Wasn't there a 40k comic that was really woke? Or is it a TV series?
I don't know.
Hang on, there was...
Seems like all the good Warhammer stuff. I mean, the good stuff made by actual companies is few and far between. The only good, decent, consistent stuff comes from fans doing it because they actually like the franchise.
Yes, and Astartes particularly. I'm sure there was like a 40k comic or series or something that had a bunch of basically woke teenage characters, like, a Xeno lover and stuff like this, and a Chaos Heretic, and I'm like, what the hell is this, man? All of these people need to be exterminatus. What is going on here? But I can't. Oh no, wait. 40k gets an animated series by Arch. Is that? Let me Let me find it, I think. Oh, no.
In the cold, dark future of humanity, there is only tolerance and
Diversity.
inclusion.
Yeah.
There was only tolerance and inclusion, yeah. Sorry, I'm getting shit in my DMs now for saying that the Christchurch shooter wasn't Mossad, and I'm like, what the fuck? Oh, dear.
Right, thanks, Harty and Darren. Civilization 3 live stream when? When I can beat everyone else, because I don't just get crushed. Feels
And
like
do co-op against hard computers.
Yeah, exactly. Feels like New Zealand was just waiting for a reason. Yeah, I know, right? Thanks again, Hattie. Have you seen PewDiePie's diss track on T-Series? Yeah, have you guys seen that?
No, I've not.
It's really fucking spicy. Like, really spicy.
I've seen it. It's so good. He talks about legal threats and the fact that they did a lot of illegal stuff. And, like, they sent him a cease and desist.
Yeah.
It just kind of, like, it's more and more sarcastic as it goes along.
And
First of all, I thought he might be, like, being gracious. And he's, like, talks about how they sold pirated music.
Yeah.
Like, tried to, like, get him prosecuted. He calls them all kinds of fucking names. Still not defamation, lol.
Yeah, and exactly,
Fucking
and he sits there making Holocaust and Hitler jokes in it and stuff, and it's just like, man, PewDiePie is just off the reservation, and it's fucking glorious.
He doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah. He's honestly becoming a bit of a hero of mine at this point, because I'm just like, mate, when you're in that sort of position, there are a lot of eyes on you from all the wrong people, and he just keeps shit posting at them. And it's just like, dude, don't stop. And now they've got the PewDiePie to Nazi pipeline, because he joked about the Nazis. It's like, oh yeah, that's it. All of these Nazis. Hashtag subscribe to PewDiePie.
Make fun of the Nazis to turn people into Nazis.
I mean, it must
classic
have
reverse psychology.
Exactly. That's exactly it. You know, first things Nazis do is just knock off, prevent jokes. So
you know who is shit? Hitler. Join the Nazi party.
Now you're part of Rags, confirmed part of the Nazi PewDiePie to Nazi pipeline. You speak some amazing. Best luck of Brexit across the pond. Thank you very much. For the love of God, go. I know the name of God even. Ginger is an anagram for N. Hey, we're not shitting on gingers here. Why do gay men find traps so attractive? What is it about looking like a convincingly beautiful young woman that turns them on so much? I mean, are we sure they're not just closet straights? That's a really great question.
Yes, that's me. I'm a closet straight. That's how it works.
Which is why you like the dick.
I don't like the dick. Don't.
I don't need to know how complicated it is.
Listen, straight men, when it comes to straight guys, there is one dick you do love. So just take that and expand it.
I'm getting. Oh my god! I'm getting called a kike now.
Jesus Christ!
I'm getting so many. Oh my god.
Well, it turns out that you're a Mossad shill as well, Scrub.
I'm a Mossad shill. I'm secretly turning them out. And it's just like, yeah, it's like, no. Okay, actual discussion. Like, I think a lot of people are more attracted to people who look feminine, and they can kind of work past the whole dick angle. But okay, the actual discussion is about people who prefer primary and secondary sex characteristics, and people have genital preferences and people have other body preferences, and it's quite a complex question, but it's a fun meme, so I don't tend to go into the actual technicalities of it. A joke is like a puppy. If you take it apart, it's not funny anymore.
So, Marijuana Merlin just messaged me on Steam saying Will Wheaton is spurging out on Facebook over PewDiePie.
Wait, Will Wheaton?
Yeah, he's messaged me too.
Will Wheaton.
That's a name I haven't heard in a while.
Will Wheaton. I haven't heard of Will Wheaton since they kicked his ass off of that Mastodon instance.
Well,
remember
that? Yeah, I do. Yeah, he's apparently.
I gotta get a drink. I'll be right back.
He went to join the far left in their little hug box, and they kicked him out the fucking hug box. It was glorious.
So I'm looking at 2 hours ago. He posted something, but it's not available at the moment. And so I know it's just a right. Okay, so this is what he posted about PewDiePie. He made a post yesterday about PewDiePie. Right, okay, let me see if I can find that. Apparently he posts fairly regularly on Facebook. Happy Trans Day of Rights? Or okay.
Oh, it's Trans Day of Visibility, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, that was it, yeah. I'm just looking, but I can't see it. He must have deleted it or something, because I can't see it. But he said, I wanted to lock comments on the post I made yesterday about PewDiePie, because it's filling up with some truly vile, racist, homophobic,
subscribe to PewDiePie.
misogynist, bigoted memes. Comments from people who have flooded my page too, I guess, make the point that this guy isn't a racist bigot. Will, people trolling you is not a reflection on PewDiePie. It seems kind of weird to throw a bunch of alt-right memes at me as an argument that this guy doesn't support their alt-right hatred. It's almost like they're making my point for me. That's right, it's as proof that PewDiePie is a Nazi. Parents whose kids are really into this guy. Are these the people you want your children around? I wanted to lock it because I don't have all the time to delete all the vile, racist, hateful garbage that these kids have time to post. But Facebook won't let me lock comments. That seems like a problem, Facebook. Put it on your ever-growing list of things that you're doing wrong. So I deleted it.
Oh my god! How dare he? How dare Facebook let people comment on a post on a social media platform? On a social media platform. How could they do this? How could they let people reply to Will Wheaton?
Anyway, let me
don't you know?
Let me finish my dramatic reading.
I'm sorry. Sorry, go on.
So I deleted it, which I know a significant percentage of shitty little proto-racists, will treat as some kind of victory. Oh god. He's actually at war with a bunch of spurgs on his comment section.
We have always been at war with the Spurg Nation.
No, but I love it. It's like those spurgs are going to treat this as some kind of victory, but I'm telling you, it's not. I really won when you made me delete my post because this is.
I'm not owned.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
He's corn cobbing.
Exactly. It's just been on his mind for 24 hours, and it's made him delete his post, but he's not owned.
Rent free.
Anyway, so it's profoundly sad that so many people seem to be entirely comfortable with dehumanizing people based on their race.
Wait, what are you reading now? I'm back.
This is Will Wheaton complaining about a bunch of spurgs in his comment section, right? And he's literally saying it's weird that there are people who are comfortable with dehumanizing people based on their race. So really, Will.
You should be lucky he has people in his comment section.
Well, yeah, there is that. But Will, the left is nothing if it's not dehumanizing people based on the race.
Let me give my spiel about Will Wheaton. Will Wheaton is someone who, he was Wesley Crusher, and he's dined out on that for the entirety of his life. He has done nothing of relevance that hasn't been about him, being on the worst part, the least likable part of a beloved show.
Hey, now, he was a guest on The Big Bang Theory.
What if I?
That's credible.
Because he was Wesley Crusher. That's the point. Hey,
I know.
You guys remember Wesley Crusher?
Remember that show from the 90s?
You remember Will Wheaton? We got Will Wheaton on the show, guys. Aren't we nerds? Look how big of a nerd we are. We remember Next Generation. Fuck you, Will Wheaton. Oh, you pedophile beard-looking motherfucker.
Will Wheaton is actually a year older than Alex Jones.
Really?
Yeah, Alex Jones is 46. Alex Jones is 45. Will Wheaton's 46.
Well, Alex Jones has lived hard.
Yeah.
The man was going back and forth to the bathroom on Joe Rogan for large amounts of something.
Yeah, but have you not been paying attention to how hard Will Wheaton's been living it in his comment sections? I mean, come on. The man has done his time fighting those Nazis online. Come on. But anyway, he says, I sincerely hope these posts are coming from teenagers whose empathy hasn't fully developed. I truly hope that they grow out of this celebration of racism and dehumanizing behavior and come to understand that, yes, words can be exceptionally hurtful to people who have done absolutely nothing to deserve it. Please choose kindness. And then he doesn't you fucking Nazis, but he should.
Can we get a Shut Up Wesley in the chat, please? I just want to see a wall of Shut Up Wesleys.
Shut up, Wesley.
And do you know what? Do you know what's really sad, right? Is that I used to love The Next Generation, and I quite liked Wesley Crusher.
He had no fucking business being on the bridge.
No, but I didn't mind him. I didn't mind him. It was just I was okay with him. Now I'm just like, oh god.
For those who remember the reference, let me just say Zimbabwe and.
Hey guys, what's up?
Hey, Dev, we're streaming at the moment.
Oh shit, it's a Canadian.
Yeah, we're just
I'm glad I'm here to class the join up.
Yeah.
Right,
okay, so sorry, I just lost my place.
Here they come. Here comes the wall of Shut Up Wesleys. It's wonderful seeing the delayed reaction. Yes. Beautiful, guys.
Can someone film that and then send him the clip?
Oh my god. I don't have OBS open right now. And I've drunk a bit too much gin for that, as you can probably tell. But
Right, okay, Garcon says, I'm not saying anything, but Michael Jackson wasn't diddling kids as a black man, just saying that's right, Wakanda forever. Man, I tell you what, Razor Fist is going to come and put his boot up your ass, man.
wait. Have you heard about that woman who said that black women didn't menstruate before they ate white people food?
What?
Let me find that shit. Let me. Oh,
Really, that's
shit.
interesting.
Yeah.
Whoa,
That's like one of those. That sounds like one of those Christian fundamentalist things. Like women didn't have to menstruate before the fall of man.
Oh, it's
that is so woke.
Have you guys encountered? You guys must have encountered all those melanin magic people, right?
Melanin magic.
Yeah. They think that melanin is a superpower.
Yeah.
No, they literally do. They think that white people
just
burn when they just stand in any kind of sunlight, like they're vampires.
It's just, oh my god, I can't find it right now. I'm a little bit too drunk, but I need to find that. It's amazing. It's oh, here we go. Yeah. Someone on Twitter said that regular menstruation is a sign your body is full of toxins or some shit, and that because it was toxins brought on. Oh my god, yeah, that white women are
have a baby.
Yeah. It's just it's quite an old tweet right now, but I cannot fucking find it. It's amazing though.
Right. Okay. So, Map Channel, do you think the EU will ever fall? Yes, absolutely. I mean, I think it'll probably last about 10, 15 years. I just think it'll slowly sort of start crumbling.
It'll pitter away and slowly but surely shrivel until it levels out at a tiny size, and it's
and it'll be Germany dominating Eastern
Europe. How many
Europe.
friends they really have. And,
it'll be Germany dominating like an area of Eastern Europe because they bought it all, and that'll be exactly as the Nazis expected.
Like, I've got a girlfriend, but she goes to another school.
I'm just trying to follow Brexit from America. I don't understand where Mog stands. Is he just going with the polls? Does he have a principled stand on this point? Okay, so Mog is a party man. And when the Conservative Party is doing badly, Mog falls in line. And that's what's happening now. And so he's backing Theresa May's deal because he thinks that no deal is not an option. And he might be right. I mean, he's an expert on Brexit at this point, I think. So he might be right. He's the leader of the European Research Group. So who knows, But I think he's just playing party politics. Thanks, Joseph.
I'm not sure if this is legit, but there's loads of these like AfricanAmerican.org menstruation is not normal about how it's due to toxins in the body and how white women are inferior because they menstruate and how naturally black women shouldn't menstruate. I'm like, what the fuck?
Menstruation is not normal by Dr. Imhotep Lalia O Africa.
She has the word Africa in her name?
Yes. It might be a man, Imhotep.
Well, that's what I was... Yeah, I didn't know.
Reparations should involve the healing of the African psyche. Black people must seek to restore a holistic balance that was at the core of their primordial greatness. Once the African collective mind is fully, quote, repaired and in sync with its ancestral legacy, Mother Earth and her corresponding inhabitants shall also benefit. Are they saying that they need to live in mud huts? Don't go silent. I legit mean that. Like, what do they mean?
They're going full Wakanda?
Yeah,
Never go full Wakanda.
But what do they mean? Restore a holistic balance. The mind is fully repaired and in sync with its ancestral legacy. Mother Earth, and I mean, like, what? This sounds to me like saying we should go back to living in caves.
It's an amorphous, ambiguous, spiritual bunch of nonsense that you could go up and parade on stage, and you can just mold a sentence around whatever you want it to be, and everybody who's willing to listen, they can fill in what you mean in their own heads.
Yeah.
It takes.
It kind of sounds like
who's listening to it.
It kind of sounds like Avatar, where they plug their heads into trees.
Yeah, it sounds like that kind of shit, doesn't it? And so,
well, you guys know about melanin theory, right?
Yeah, well,
melanin theory.
Yeah, and that the melanin gives you like superpowers, basically, and that white people are stealing black people's melanin.
So let's hear about menstruation quickly, because this is woke as hell, right? Menstruation is not a normal health state, seems misogynistic. Menstruation is hemorrhaging. Menstruation is a flow of fresh blood. Hemorrhaging, whether it occurs in the brain, eyes, lungs, or uterus, is not normal. Subsequently, menstruation is an abnormal condition. There are many views on the causes of menstruation. However, they are ill-founded and totally wrong. Black African females on a holistic diet of natural foods do no menstruate. Not do not menstruate, do no menstruate. Okay.
And above all, do no menstruate.
And I'm starting to think this person isn't a real doctor. Excuse me, Dr. Africa.
The jig is up.
Can I see your qualifications, please?
Oh no, you can't ask black people for their papers. That's racist.
Wait.
That's why voter ID is racist.
Oh, I knew it.
A certification from a Western college. Oh,
yeah, that's just your Western thinking. There's so many N's in chat right now. Holy fuck. All I see are N's.
So menstruation is the loss of fresh blood, that not diseased blood. It was and is commonly believed in religions that a woman is purging herself of sinful blood. However, this is European voodoo idea that was promoted by the men who were priests and dogs of a political religion.
Yes, Europeans, famous for the voodoo.
Yeah. It is not a biological nor anatomical fact that hemorrhaging is normal, or the blood is indeed sinful, diseased blood. Dude, it's just the build-up of the lining of the uterus. I'm not wrong there, am I? I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Yes, this is what black nationalists actually believe, though.
I'm no expert on menstruation or anything, but then I don't think Dr. Africa is either.
Is this a peer?
Oh, wait. It is an intersectional piece. That's the important thing, right? Menstruation is not normal. However, menstruation is not necessarily caused by an abnormality in women alone. This unnatural condition is shared by men as well.
Sorry, guys. I'll be right back. I gotta menstruate real quick.
It's not just misogynistic. It's transphobic.
How is it transphobic?
No, it's actually not transphobic.
It's transphobic to imply that only women menstruate.
Exactly, yeah. So this is properly intersectional. If you think that only women menstruate, and it's just ridiculous.
Unironic boy pussy.
Unironic boy pussy.
Well, further, women have two X chromosomes. The X chromosomes carry the genetic immunity factors, while the Y chromosome does not. Men have one X, which makes them weaker. Also, women have a greater endurance capacity, and fossil relics verify that women have had muscular development equal to men. Additionally, women have 3 lobes on their thyroid. That explains why they're so fat. This increases...
Wait, did he just say women have the same muscular structure? Can I introduce you to this thing? It's called testosterone.
I'll take things that never happened for 500, Alex.
Listen, fossil relics, fossils, not just remains, fossils, right? Fossil relics verify that women have had muscular development equal to men. They have 3 lobes on their thyroids. This increases cell growth and rejuvenation ability. So women regenerate for 2 generative sex centers in the brain. This increases intelligence states, and there are many more differences. Wow. So women are just like Ubermensch, basically. I mean, Hitler, if he was smart, he would have packed out the SS with women. What was he thinking?
No
They're fucking misogynist.
Down. They were going to overtake us.
Yeah, they're going to overthrow the patriarchy at this rate.
They're so strong and smart and agile and better than us. They're just better than us in every way. What are we going to do?
This is amazing. I'm so glad you found this, Scrub. Men use menstruation to control women. There we go.
Again, excuse me.
I know. I was just okay, but I'm not
a citation.
I'm not even in control of their menstruation, so I don't even know how I do this.
Do you think that if we had the choice, like if you think men had the choice, would we want women to have menstruation?
Do you want to go without sex for a week every month? Of course you do. Fucking hell. And what I love about this, right, is this is totally unfalsifiable as well, right? Because it's like, right, so if you're a woman and you're a black woman, you're like, you know what? I think this guy's making a good point. I think that the reason I menstruate, I hate menstruating, and I think the reason I do it is because of the white people around me and the food they give me, or the food I buy from them. So if I just go live off the land or something, and in some black commune or something, then surely this problem will this civilization-ending problem apparently will leave me. And then after like 3 years, she's going to be like, Christ, I'm still menstruating. And what does the Dr. Africa say? He says, well, you're not doing it all quite right. You need to do exactly as I say when I say it, even more to the letter than you are already doing it. And so it's this never-ending cycle of you becoming further indoctrinated into his cult and never actually achieving the goal because it's bullshit.
It reminds me of like Scientology.
Yes.
Like, you just do more auditing. It's like you've got too many body thetans. That's why you menstruate.
Well, it's like the reason you don't believe in Jesus is because you have some sort of secret sin on your soul that you haven't told anybody about, and that's what's keeping it from happening.
That's exactly it. So anyway, men use menstruation to control women. Women are in a weaker spiritual, physical, and mental state and easier to dominate. Well, that's misogynistic as fuck.
Ha, take that, women.
Yeah. Who are easy to dominate?
Women.
Get dominated, women.
Menstruating women.
Oof.
So what they're saying is that if you're faced with an opponent who's tough and it's a woman, then you just have to wait until she's menstruating to take her
having
out.
dated non-menstruating trans women, I can say they're equally easy to dominate. But woo.
This is so ridiculous.
This is very ridiculous. Fuck.
The ancient Africans realized that menstruation is not normal and that it reflects a tribal or cultural disease. So white people just diseased. Menstruation has many aspects that affect the totality of African people's lifestyles. Menstruation by black African women is a recent occurrence. No anthropological research or research from medical science or veterinarian science can validate that hemorrhaging is normal for women.
Wait, veterinarian science?
Yeah. This dog doesn't have periods, therefore women having periods is weird.
Is he saying black people confirm not human? Is that what he's saying?
No.
I think most animals don't have like.
No, they don't. Yeah,
I think that's it's an unusual thing.
Yes, it is. Yes. So anyway, it's often justified for lunar zodiac reasons. However, the zodiac concept, you mean monthly. It's fucking monthly.
Yeah, it happens monthly.
We're like
That's monthly. How periods work. Fucking Christ.
But yeah, Rags, you mentioned earlier, or just a few seconds ago, that only humans have periods. Well, not only humans, like some great apes have periods.
Yeah, I said most animals don't.
Yeah.
Have periods. It's a
I remember this is something I had to learn back in school, in a biology class that I took. Basically, the reason why humans and great apes have periods is because they're significantly smarter than most other animals, and a lot of early development is needed. So it's a bunch of extra. It's like a bunch of extra nutrients in the uterine lining that are needed in the first few months of gestation. So if black people aren't having periods,
the implication of what you're saying is,
I wonder.
Wow.
Hey, Dev, I got some bell curves for you. Just come round back here.
Dr. Africa confirmed race realist. Holy fuck!
Come round back here. I'll open my trench coat with the FBI statistics.
Yeah, we're not espousing the information. We're just reading what's on the paper.
Yeah, I disagree with Dr. Africa.
The findings.
as Yoda once said, 13% they are, 50% they do.
Wow. Right, okay, so I'm gonna get back to the soup chats because Jesus Christ, we're going down a dark path here.
Hey,
dark path.
Oh fucking! Shut up.
A dark path. Yeah.
That's not what I meant.
I don't know what to think anymore. Actually.
Oh, so before you read the super one, like what happened? Was that you on Warplan Purple today, by the way?
No, I don't use that. I'm not on that account.
Really? Because they put out a very pro trap tweet about boys will be girls.
Well, it's run by people who obviously understand the trap question.
Oh, they are men of culture, I will say.
Yes. New Zealand needs to have a come and take it to their own government. It just seems so repressive. Oh, it's not just that it seems. It's definitely repressive. There's no question of it. New Zealand's voluntary gun buyback received 37 guns. Yeah, out of something like 500,000 or something.
There was an article I remember reading, I think it was last week, where they started arresting people who wouldn't give up their guns.
Have they? Oh, fucking of course they have. Let me...
Yeah.
Can you find it and whack it in the chat?
Yeah, they have.
I'll take a look.
Yeah, cheers.
There's been a case, I tweeted about, there's been a case where a guy got killed by police because he wouldn't surrender them.
Really? Okay,
yes.
Yeah. Well, if you can dig it up and put it in the chat, I'll read it out.
Yeah, I will do. Give me a sec.
With no pro prep, does UKIP have a chance at all, though? Well, it certainly does in any MEP elections. I mean, they already have MEPs. I love the fact that the SJWs really want us to stay in the European Empire. Considering how anti-imperial they are, I'm shocked. Guess it's fine when white people are the ones being oppressed. I don't even think it's that, right? I honestly don't think that they have any form of conviction for the European Union, because there's nothing. If they were to take a look at it, they'd go, okay, what is it about the European Union that I like? Well, it's progressive. Okay, that's good. It's also capitalist, really capitalist. It's also, it's undemocratic, and a lot of them will think that they're in favour of democracy. So they'll be like, okay, I don't like that. And then, they'll have a bunch of other things. I mean, it enshrines free speech in the Constitution, in the UN Declaration or EU Declaration. So it's like, there are a bunch of things about it they actually actively don't like. I think that the reason they're pro it is more just because the people they don't like are anti it. I honestly think that's what it comes down to. Here's $20. I remember you were going to do a big Crusades video. Wondering if that's still a thing. Yeah. But the thing is, mate, I'm probably going to give it a theatrical release. if that doesn't sound too ridiculous, I think it's going to be like an hour and a bit long, and it'll be really nice. So yeah,
I just posted the article. There it is.
Oh yeah, thanks. Okay, I'll go through a few more of these, and then I'll do it. Ring, ring, ring! Man of culture calling. I'm recording this and reading you this. Sorry, I'll start this again, James. Ring, 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 ring! Man of culture calling. I'm recording this, and you reading this now is my ringtone. Are you a fan of the Ghost Poo podcast? No. Who and when is your next big interviewee? May, I think, is the next big one, and it's going to be
Theresa May.
It's going to be a wonderful surprise. Certainly not, but Prime Minister, if you want to talk to me about anything, I'm happy to do so. What kind of Jewish plant are you? An olive tree. I'm a Mossad shell. I'm from New Zealand. They keep peddling "let's not be racist to Muslims" meme in the media. Well, okay, I agree. Let's not be racist to Muslims. Good call. I didn't think we were being racist to Muslims, though. And that the gunman was an alt-right racist. Well, yeah, that's true. I'm at uni and PC culture is insane. I'm in a politics group and the uni has tried to shut it down before. Yeah, I can believe it, man. It seems really politically correct. Might as well make it official. Hell Lord Protector Sargon. Jesus, I hate to be the one who has to go in and destroy Parliament, but I mean, like, all I'm saying is they had it coming. Normies simply say, release the hounds, you lot. Release the boomers. What do you think about Tim Pool calling you and Dankula right wing since you joined UKIP? Well, I mean, compared to what? Like, if it's compared to like the political establishment that's really left wing, yeah, I guess by their perspective we are. I mean, I'm still in the centre. Whenever I do a political compass test, I'm still central. So, but I mean, he's centre left. So, at this point I'm probably centre right. So, I'm okay with it. Lou Levi, hey Louis, you're currently in Florida rooting out Mossad in the gull population. Good job. Make sure you report back. Yeah. New Zealander here. The manifesto is accessible in certain interest groups who pay licensing fees, journalists, lawyers, etc. Yeah, they're selling the manifesto. Monopoly on the truth/freedom to mislead us. Time to move to the US for freedom. Help. No, because if you move to the US for freedom, then like freedom is receding across the world. We need to be expanding freedom. So this is why I don't leave England. It's like, look, if we're going to have to fight a political battle here, then gay. But I mean, okay, then we're going to have to do it, aren't we? We can't just abandon our countries. That seems weak.
Yeah, I have thought about that. It's like, I was wanting to move to the US last year, and I'm like, you know what? I don't want to give up on this place. It's still salvageable in some ways.
Yeah, and not only that, it's our country, goddammit.
Yeah, it's our nation.
Yeah, this is, we're meant to be a free country, so we've got to maintain that in the face of SJW bullshit. And I'm sick of people who are, oh man, I tell you, I'm really fucking sick of people like, oh, SJWs are just teenagers with blue hair. Are you fucking shitting me? There are SJW laws in my country. The cops turn up at people's doors if they criticize transgender ideology online. The cops go to people's houses and say, excuse me, sir, we want to, and I quote, check your thinking. Not making that up.
To get shot here in the U.S.,
mate. That's legit. And literally, there's a video with this guy, and he's like, "What did I say that was illegal?" And he's like, "Well, I didn't say it was illegal." And I'm just like, "Well, then why wasn't the next thing? Why the fuck are you here?" Just get bent with the whole like, "Oh, SJWs are just like kids with blue hair." Man, they're fucking everywhere.
I feel the same way about Canada.
Yeah.
I think it's worth saving, but for example,
is Canada worth saving though?
yeah.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do
worth
know.
saving. But no, like last week in Vancouver, there was a trans person who was running for an office there.
Cool.
And somebody decided to criticize them by posting flyers saying that they were a biological male. And that
Is that
person has
criticism?
now, well, that person has now been charged $55,000.
Holy shit!
Yep,
For saying an objective
55
fact.
grand.
55. Well, it's
For
Canadian
stating a
bucks, so it's
scientific
like
fact.
it's like 35 American, but still, it's quite a bit of money.
Fuck though. That's it.
I'll
That's
try-
a
I'll try to
year's
get the article
wages,
for that,
man.
I'll try to get the article for that too.
Yeah,
You wanna see?
please. That's terrifying. We'll go through these in a second.
You posted it earlier and I read it.
If
that
you guys
Christian
could
guy.
not send any more super chats, that would be wonderful. Thank you. I don't mean to sound unappreciative. It's just I want to make sure I get through them all, and I'm worried that I won't get through them all like I did yesterday, and so I feel bad about it.
Yeah, there it is. I did that on my
yeah.
my weekly video on Sunday.
Cool. I'll get that up in a sec. Don't be dumb. Don't do a Christchurch video on YouTube. You will Mumkey Jones your channel. That is a concern that I have, and
You can't. Okay, I'm gonna get up on my high horse. You can't self-censor. As soon as you do that, they win. You might as well not have a
Yeah.
channel at that point.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it. I feel that I should put it on my YouTube channel to make a point that we should be able to talk about these things. But I mean, no one's going to accuse me of being pro-alt-right, apart from the radical left, obviously. So I'm reasonably confident that I can do like an objective analysis of the manifesto and the events themselves, and not make it sound like I'm endorsing him, because obviously I won't be. So, I mean, I don't want New Zealand to go fascist. I don't know what else to say. So anyway, I'm going to put it up on my channel, and I guess we'll see what happens. Hey Sargon, have you seen the news? The PewDiePie T-Series war. T-Series overtook by like 40k, and then PewDiePie made a video congratulate him, and now he's number one again by 70k. Good. He can't win though. He just can't win. The numbers will always be against him. But
If he can make it to 100 million before T Series does, I consider that the victory.
yeah. That seems like a good place to put the competition at an end. 40k for kids, a Xeno lover, a heretic, and a traitor. Yeah, something like that. I should find it. Is Ancient Recitations dead? I rather liked it. No, not. I wouldn't call it dead. YouTube demonetized the whole fucking channel for no reason though. Which doesn't incentivize me to use it, obviously. But that's not the reason I haven't posted. I just haven't had time. I've just been really busy. And it takes a long time to record like an audiobook or something. So I just don't have time, sorry. Currently have a case of tinnitus in both ears, but don't have time to go see a doctor thanks to uni work. Luckily, I have you guys to dull the ringing. Man, I'm sorry to hear that.
Or as you're probably hearing Silent right now. Sorry. Sorry, I'm dabbing on the people with tinnitus now.
My PewDiePie
God.
clutch chair is quite comfy, thanks. Is that the chair that he sits on, is it? I think the Cro-Magnon species is an apology from the Homo sapiens species. Well, as the inevitable descendants of the Cro-Magnon... Oh, no, it's the Neanderthals, isn't it? But no, Europeans are descended from Cro-Magnons as well. So basically what I'm saying is everyone outside of Europe is displaying a distinct anti-Cro-Magnon bias. I think this might be a case of racism. Traps are gay. The traps themselves are probably gay, yeah. They are sexually attracted to men and identify as men. There's nothing wrong with that bigger, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely.
Will you and Dankula be running for MEP on the platform of traps are not gay, fight me? No, I think traps are gay. Sorry.
Doesn't really matter. Like, I don't know.
Well, it depends are you gay or not.
Lol. No, my stance is always like, who the fuck? It's a funny meme.
It is. It's
But
just
like,
a funny meme.
seriously, who the fuck cares? And I like the meme, and I love people who get really uppity. There was someone who did a video about it recently about how the fact that trap isn't like inherently a slur. It's just like a word that people use, and it can mean many different things. And they got like fucking roasted. Like the trans community got fucking mad at them.
I just don't understand why trans people would be upset at traps. They're two completely different things.
I know, it's fucking retarded. It is, and there's some people who like use it in the old sense of the word trap. In that a lot of people just use trap to mean like someone who can pass and trap someone. It's kind of a compliment to some people. Like some trans women use it, and that's fine. Like you can't. I hate people who tell you how you can use a word. It's like, oh, this word's inherently a slur. It's like, no, it's context. You know what, Sagan? I'll put it in the symposium, but here, have a spicy image for this discussion. If
Okay,
it'll
go on.
fucking load.
Jesus.
Replace the GIF with that. Your viewers will enjoy it.
I have a funny feeling that'd be a hate crime, so I'm not going to
I don't think it's a hate crime. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah,
Come on, son.
no way.
Grow some fucking balls, Boomer. Come on.
Man, I'm just never going to hear the end of it. I'm not going to do it.
Come on. show the stream the meme.
So the next question is: when will you set up a Space Station 13 server? Now, I watched Seth Tizench's review of this, and it made it sound really exciting. Obviously, just for anyone who doesn't know, Space Station 13 is a community-developed multiplayer round-based role-playing game where players assume the role of a crew member on a space station. Together, they must keep the station running smoothly while dealing with antagonistic forces that threaten to sabotage the mission. And so you're given roles like engineers, scientists, doctors, security officers, all the way down to janitor, which sounds awesome. And one or more of the players will be given an antagonistic role at random, a secret objective that's very likely to cause disruption to the mission at hand. That actually does sound like a really fucking cool game. I'll have to check it out another time, but that does sound good. Right, okay, sorry, was I right? Just say I'm excited for the Warhammer 2 Warhammer Vermintide 2 expansion. Man, I never got into Vermintide.
Winds of Magic.
Sargon, why do you deny the inclusive Tau Empire? Because they're gay. No, they're worse. They're weebs. Okay, that's why. The left is continuing to water down the Nazi meaning. Yeah, of course. They none of them have ever seen a Nazi. Like, none of them. Like, there are Nazis out there, and none of them have seen any of them, and couldn't point to one if they tried. I mean, okay, no, that's not true. They could probably point to Anders Breivik or like what's his face from Christchurch, but Tim Pool has just been shadowed banned for his video about the Unplanned the movie. Now, Unplanned, isn't that a pro-life movie that people... I've seen people on Twitter talking about this, going, I keep getting unsubscribed from following this Unplanned the movie. Let me just... Because I started following it earlier. Let's see if I'm still following it. Yeah, I am still following it. Right, okay. So, I mean, I literally don't know anything about it, and I don't
If
care.
it was a Muslim film, it'd be fine.
Yeah, well, of course. Holy shit. Honestly, right. So, if anyone asks, the term is Islamophilic. The establishment is Islamophilic. Get them to start popularizing and using that word themselves. That'll be the best part about it. Get them to hashtag not Islamophobic, Islamophilic or something like that, or Islamophilic not Islamophobic. That's what we need to start. In fact, yeah, definitely that. In fact, have you seen Pinochet's helicopter rides and rentals video? No, I haven't. Firelord Ozai did nothing wrong. Hashtag remove arrowheads. Well, I mean, what could you say that he did do wrong? Like, for anyone who doesn't know, Firelord Ozai is basically the Hitler of the Avatar universe. We was not menstruatings and shit. How many times can Carl vote, and can it sway a second Brexit referendum? Well, once, and by one vote. On an unrelated note, have you tried rhino milk in your tea or coffee? This is a thing from EFAP, isn't it? Rags.
I've heard of it.
What's the deal? I don't know anything about. I just know it came from there. What's the meaning?
You're cutting out a little bit.
Oh, right, okay. Well,
but yes, it is from the EFAP sphere.
Well, can you explain?
Our memes are all natural.
Yeah, but why rhino milk?
We were covering. All right, so the origin of rhino milk, which has been our longest and most successful meme, is we were covering a video on why Black Panther was actually like good, right. And because we were responding to somebody was saying that there's a part in Black Panther where they have a rhino farm.
Yep. I did wonder about that myself.
Yeah, doesn't make any fucking sense. And so we were pointing out how silly it is and how dangerous it is and how pointless it is to have rhino farms. And the person who made the video said, "Oh, it might not be stupid that they have, rhino farms. Like maybe they could use them for milk." And I said rhino milk and busted out laughing, and we all started laughing. It was fucking hilarious that someone was unironically using the rhino milk defense.
What the fuck?
For the Black Panther rhino farm.
You would obviously argue for the skin, right? You would say, well, it's
great.
Yeah, exactly. The skin's thick. You can use it as armor or clothing.
Rhino hide.
Exactly, rhino hide. Yeah, meat and stuff like this. Not the fucking. I mean, there must be a lot of meat on a fucking rhino. Not the milk.
Well, there's a lot of meat on a cow, and cows won't kill you.
Well, sometimes they do.
By a fluke of nature, yes, a cow might kill you.
Well, the bulls are really dangerous, man. They're fucking
Why you
big.
don't have those are different.
Well, okay.
Men and women are different, Sargon.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. When you say cow, I just thought you meant bovine.
Yeah, but it just stuck. We cover videos like that, and some things just stick, and rhino milk has stuck really well.
Everyone needs to flood Will Wheaton with articles from the left about interracial dating and how wrong it is. Yes, the left is very concerned with miscegenation. Yes, now I'm glad you brought that up. Hasn't that been a weird trend recently? I can't date X because I'm black and they're white, or I'm Asian and they're white, and they do this
Tolerant
all
left.
the time. Yeah, exactly. They're bringing back segregation because fuck miscegenation. Just what do you go? Where do you go from here? Okay, not allowed to date white people because they're oppressive. Please discuss the free speech idea we talked about yesterday, government self-regulation. I'm not familiar with what you mean there, to be honest. How do you mean like Mark Zuckerberg saying that he wants the government to step in or something? What? Have empathy is just SJW speak for. If you're a good person, you'd submit your will to my cultish ideology. It's a power game. Absolutely, they absolutely use that way, and you're absolutely right to identify and reject it when they say it. What do you call a Jewish Pokemon trainer? Ash. Ha ha ha.
Jeez.
Yeah. Nah, that was a bad one, to be honest. Time to take Brussels. Blitzkrieg to Electric Boogaloo. Honestly, do you want Brussels? Have you seen... Brussels is a hotbed of jihadis. Like, it produces more jihadis than anywhere else in Europe, apparently. So... it's from YouTube Red /premium. Right, okay, that makes sense. Thanks, TJ. Having fled South Africa over a decade ago, it's hard not to see comparisons between that madness, Venezuela today, and AOC's proposed methodology. Yep, it really does seem that way, doesn't it? And what's interesting, I was looking into the South Africa land redistribution thing. More land went into black ownership under the free market than it did being appropriated by the government because... surprise, surprise, the government was fucking corrupt and they kept it for themselves. So basically, yeah, the free market wins again. Anarcho-nativism is wildly popular at the moment. I say let them run wild. I say we set them free back into the wild and say, go! You are no longer part of the state. You just have to live with nature. It's going to be winter soon. Good luck. Would you ever chat with Ryan Dawson again? I guess. I'm not against the idea. I'm just busy. Reparations for burning the White House now. Wah. Brit bongs must Gibbs monies. Well, you see, this is how it works, right? When we're using it to our benefit to make us seem strong, yes, we did that. When it's something we're going to be held accountable for, the Canadians did that. So, Dev, you're in trouble.
Didn't have to be this way, Dev.
He's not here, apparently.
Oh, sorry, I'm back. What was that? What am I in trouble for this time?
You burned down the White House. You owe the Americans reparations.
Wait, no, that was the British.
See, I told you. Right? No. It was the British when it's a good thing that we burned down their White House. But now it's not a good thing. It's Canadians. You have to repay. You have to understand. It's okay when we do it. That's the rule that we're working from here. If Brexit is successful, will they be under Article 13 since they aren't in the EU? No, we will not. Article 13 is a directive for each member state to create their own legislation to carry out the intent of Article 13. If we're not in the EU, we obviously don't have to create this legislation. The logic behind this menstruation thing is like healing crystals. Yep. Also, when's the next D&D session on this channel? It will be on this channel from here on out until I get another community strike for being a dick, apparently. Hopefully next week. I think so.
I'm in.
Hello, Sargon. Loved your 7 Days to Die review. I did a 7 Days to Die review. What? Is this a meme I'm not aware of? Or something?
It is indeed, yes.
Right, okay.
It is a meme you're not aware.
Can you explain it to me since we're here?
Yeah, it's another EFAP meme where
right,
we
okay. See, I don't get to watch EFAP.
Long story behind it, but it is indeed an EFAP meme.
What's it about?
Well, we thank people for doing videos that they didn't do because jokingly, we do EFAP on Mahler's channel, and wait, how did it start? I think it had to do with super chats, and we were joking about how Mahler gets the super chats for EFAPs, and because someone worked, I forget. I'd have to think about how this one started, but I think it was, oh yeah, Mahler worked really hard on something, but it was something. I think it was after the Fallout video I did. I forget. I just can't quite remember. I'll have to think about it.
Right.
We need to get a lore master at this point.
It sounds like you do. I don't get time to watch, man. I just don't have time to watch like a 5-hour stream.
Well, they're long. I mean,
Yeah,
I understand it. They're
Yeah.
long.
It's not. I mean, I've watched like parts of some, and they were enjoyable to watch, but I just don't have time to do it.
Now we get really good chemistry. We work well together.
Yeah. A Dujano demonstration. Yes, but that's only because I'm a man and I control them. I use menstruation to control women. Don't you know? Tiffany, thank you. Home from
Blood
work,
magic.
and damn, that GIF is still going. You'll keep doing what you're doing. I drive for a living, and you'll make the long drives better. Thanks, Otis. I'm glad to hear it. And,
Yay!
you know, that's why we're here, isn't it? You know, it's like fucking keep
To make your
everyone
long
sane.
drives better.
Yeah. I should change that GIF, but you know what? You've got to deal with it. What do you think about Mike Stuckbury calling our mate Lucy Brown a Nazi because of an edgy pendant? I don't know about an edgy pendant, but I mean, if it's I take it she disagreed with him about something sometime at some point, and so obviously she's a Nazi. I'll take delusional assholes for 500, Alex. I'm sorry, I can't remember what that was in reference to. Please stop causing menstruation, boys. Thanks. I will do my best, Discordia. I will do my best.
Hey, if it was up to me.
Tiffany wants to
Things would be
join
different.
Rucker in getting me into objectivism. There's always time to read. I genuinely love your content. Hard pass and AOC. Yeah, thanks, man. And I agree. Hard pass and AOC on that. Can't menstruate if you're always pregnant. Tap tap. Good point, Sephiroth. Good point indeed.
I agree. Caliphate now.
You should look into 1790s US politics. Yeah, it's one of those things. I'm aware that it was very complex, but I just haven't had the time to. Good point, straw man. Voting twice is EFAP code for fat, you massive. See, look, there are all these inner memes for this show that I've just never got because
Voting
I'm not...
twice. Yeah, if you're fat, you can vote twice.
Oh, right, okay. I didn't know that. Man, how much of a normie am I? Slogan is a mad lad. No, Thomas, I'm a fucking normie. Liberal tinnitus is characterized by a persistent re. What are your thoughts on the Turkish president and his comments on Australians visiting Gallipoli? Yeah, well, he seems to think that the Christchurch shooter is a representative of the Australian race or something. And so he was like, by the way, your ancestors died on Gallipoli, Australia. Just try it again. If you're going to bring any more shooters over. And I bet Australians are like, what the fuck are you on about? Calm down, Erdogan. You sound like a lunatic. He played the shooters live stream in public. He played it on a big screen to people at a rally. It's like, fucking... okay. I mean, a lot of people were unhappy about this. Never see ground to SJWs. Britain cannot fall. Dude, they've virtually taken the place over. Saga for Prime Minister are not going to happen. No, it's just not possible. Do you think it would have been better to have put a country on a war footing after the first serious terror attack on the grounds that there is a precedent for repealing emergency powers after the war is over? No, and I don't think we should treat terrorists like they're something we're at war with either, because that legitimizes them. They want to be considered an enemy state and treated like enemy combatants, but no, they're not. They're criminals. Treat them like criminals. Just send them to jail. They're not an enemy state, and they're not anything. They're nothing. That's the thing. And basically, it's a way of making sure we reduce the likelihood, I think, of people looking at it and going romantically, well, I could join the caliphate. It's like, no, you're not going to join a caliphate, because that would imply that there was something legitimate to join. There's not. The caliphate's gone. You're just a criminal. Go to jail. That's the conversation we should have with them. What are my thoughts on JF? He seems like a very able potato farmer. Why?
Is he still around? Is he still doing stuff?
I don't know, presumably. But I mean, I hope he's well. I haven't got a problem with JF. I've got no beef with him or anything. I don't know what he's doing though. NZ State Radio was dragging the acting Prime Minister Islamophobic this morning in light of comments he made when he met with imams as Foreign Affairs Minister, who spoke of the scourge of Islamic terrorism. Those fucking racists.
It's not very progressive.
No. Can we just swap Theresa May for James May? Hang on, is James May? Let me That rings a bell. It could be worse. Right, okay. How does he feel about it? James, he's the guy from Top Gear. He might be fucking pro-Remain, dude. 1776 Kiwi edition, let's go. Yeah, it's not going to happen, dude. The first thing my girlfriend and I agreed on when we first met was your videos. So glad to hear it. Months later, and both of us are really happy, thank you. I'm really glad to hear that, man. Yeah, did I see Pew's song? What's your take? Spicy as fuck. Is your avatar an interpretation of Dank's pug? Nope, not to my knowledge. Dr. Africa has a point. Menstruation can be interrupted or stopped by severe malnutrition and starvation, so a return to the African diet is on point. Well, in all fairness, most of Africa is actually not malnutritioned and starving. So it's actually sort of Dr. Africa's special interpretation of this. And this maybe he's...
I'm still here, by the way, guys. I'm just a little bit drunk and having a...
Guys, you guys hear something?
What was that? Sorry? Was someone else talking?
Let me finish these and then we can talk some shit. Yeah, I really don't want to not do them because of the other day. Not about periods, but look into the Key and Peele as in Jordan Peele's sketch, Negro Town. It's amazingly racist. Jordan Peele did a sketch called Negro Town. Okay. Let me have a quick look.
Negro Town.
Well, it comes up if I Google it. Apparently there's an uncensored version on Comedy Central. Oh, God. Key and Peele's Negro Town actually existed. Here's why it's gone. In a satirical yet pointed video sketch, duo Keegan and Michael Key and Jordan Peele, Key and Peele imagines what life would be like if black people had a vibrant, successful community where they could thrive without the interference of systemic racism.
Mm-hmm.
This bright, magical place was called Wakanda. No, I'm joking. It was called Negro Town. I think I get it. It's like a utopia for black people. Holy shit, dude. Like, literally, utopia would be if no white people were around. Key says in the video, adding later, this just sounds too good to be true. Yeah, you know the white man's going to be responsible for this somehow. Actually, a place almost as idyllic as Negro Town was once a reality in the early 20th century.
As idyllic as Negro Town.
The Greenwood neighborhood of Tulsa, Oklahoma is perhaps the closest America has ever come to having a town like the one imagined by Key and Peele. Unfortunately, racism and white supremacy ended it after all.
Better luck next time.
It turns out that the racists and white supremacists were the real bad guys all the time.
Yeah. What if we're the racist?
Yeah. So what happened? Greenwood grew as blacks moved to Tulsa in the early 1900s, attracted by a major oil boom in the region. Blacks were largely restricted to this section of the city because racial segregation prevented them from living or shopping anywhere else nearby, in spite of living under Jim Crow laws. See, this is what racism actually looks like, SJWs, just so you're aware, right? I mean, literally, like, black people are not allowed in this part of the city. That's something that you can point to and say, yeah, this is actual racism.
We don't have that anymore. We agreed it was bad.
Yes. But anyway, they built a... Yes, exactly. Yeah. They built a community wherein blacks could build economic power and flourish among their own ranks. So what you're saying is they became capitalists, which is smart, don't get me wrong. As we often saw before integration...
Fight fire with fire.
As we often saw before integration, blacks in the area created entrepreneurial opportunities for themselves, which housed an impressive business centre that included banks, hotels, cafes, clothiers, movie theatres and contemporary homes. Great. Greenwood residents enjoyed many luxuries that white neighbours did not, including indoor plumbing and a remarkable school system that superiorly educated black children.
What?
Those colonizers were still shitting in buckets outside.
Yeah, so it turns out that black people were doing great under racism, apparently, which is unironically what the fucking... It wasn't The Guardian, it was a different one, claimed I had said that black people were benefiting from racism. And I'm like, why?
Can you please just change that GIF? It's driving me mad. I can imagine some people have been watching that for an hour and 40, and they must be like gnawing their own arms off.
Hey, Scrump.
What?
You got to deal with it. Hang on. Let me find something even more annoying.
Oh my god! You could. This is the reason Jim beats you in stream.
I found a GIF of Negro Town.
Go on.
Oh no! I imagine the next step of the stream.
All right. Okay. So anyway, it turns out that they actually, unironically, now this isn't my opinion for the journalists who are inevitably going to clip this. I don't believe that racism was good for black people. However, Mike.com does, and this was Josie Pickens at Ebony in 2013. Everything was unbelievably great for black people in this particular area under segregation and Jim Crow, and that's all I have to say. I mean, it was an oasis for wealthy black entrepreneurs and became known as America's Black Wall Street. So there we go. Not my opinion. I don't think that segregation was a good thing, but I'm not progressive.
But what do I know?
Yeah. How it came to a screeching halt. Okay, so in 1921, Black Wall Street was decimated by an attack, partially fueled by the growth of white supremacist groups near Tulsa. As PBS details, sensational reports emerged during Memorial Day weekend that year when two white newspapers alleged that a black
I thought all newspapers were white.
Yeah, that's because you're a racist. Alleged that a black youngster had raped a white woman and ought to be hanged. Rumours spread that a lynch mob planned to take matters into its own hands, giving way to an armed confrontation between blacks and whites at the station. Right. So, rumours spread that a lynch mob planned to take matters into its own hand, but the lynch mob was fictional and the product of a rumour. So, a confrontation between armed blacks and whites at the police station was over a rumour. Okay. Thousands of whites rampaged through the black community, killing men and women. Fucking hell!
Hashtag listen and believe.
You might, yeah. Can someone Google this as I'm reading this out? Because I would think they would talk about this a bit more often if this was true. But thousands of whites rampaged through the black community, killing men and women, looting and burning stores and homes. And when the National Guard arrived, it arrested the blacks rather than the white rioters.
Wait, where was this supposedly?
This is Black Wall Street, Greenwood in Tulsa.
Black Wall Street?
Apparently, white people just went on a race war through there, and then when the National Guard arrived, they arrested the blacks, obviously. No whites were arrested, even though many of the mob members openly boasted of what they did. 35 blocks of Greenwood were burned to the ground, wiping out businesses and homes. Jesus, really? The Tulsa race riot. Yeah, it might well... there's a picture, maybe. Let me... Man, I can't believe the SJWs don't make more out of this. Let's see what Wikipedia has to say.
Oh, great. Something else that I need to feel guilty for that I wasn't alive for.
Just layering that on there.
I'm sorry I didn't do more.
Okay, so 36 people were killed. According to official statistics. But 1 to 300 African Americans when it was re-examined in 2001, they reckon. 800 people admitted to hospitals and 6,000 black residents were detained. Jesus, okay. Well, fucking hell. It turns out that in 1921, the US was really racist.
In 1921? No way.
I know. Did anyone know this?
I'd heard
did
rumors.
bad things. But okay, fair enough. So let's.
Is this like alternate reality?
No. This is something that happened in 1921 in America. Hang on. Let me read the Wikipedia summary just quickly, just to get a bit of a context that presumably isn't written by a radical leftist. So. It was a racially, socially, and politically tense atmosphere. The war ended. Blah, blah. Apparently, lynchings were common in Oklahoma, which I'm sure they were. It was called Black Wall Street. Yeah, that's true. They're creating their own business services in this enclave. Which, and don't get me wrong, right? This is exactly what black people should do. This is an excellent sort of example of a good work ethic. So this is fantastic, right? And I'm sure that this is totally unjustifiable, all of this. But I just want to make sure that it's as they say. So there was an encounter at an elevator it's alleged that at some time after about 4 p.m., 19-year-old Dick Rowland, a black shoe shiner employed in a May Street parlor, entered the only elevator of the nearby Drexel building to use the restroom, which was restricted to black people. He encountered Sarah Page, the 70-year-old white elevator operator on duty. They likely knew each other, at least by sight, as this building was the only one with a restroom that he had expressed permission to use, and the only one that she was allowed. The only one operated by her in the building. Clark at Renberg's clothing store on the first floor of Drexel heard what sounded like a woman's scream and saw a young black man rushing from the building. The clerk went to the elevator and found Page in what he said was a distraught state. Thinking that she had been assaulted, he summoned the authorities. The 2001 Commission final report notes that it was unusual for both Rowland and Page to be working downtown on Memorial Day, when most stores and businesses were closed. This suggests that Rowland had a simple accident, such as tripping and steadying himself against the girl, or perhaps they were lovers and had a quarrel. Right, okay, so we don't know, basically. This is all just speculation. The word rape was rarely used in newspapers or academia in the 20th century. Instead, assault was used to describe such an attack. Okay. So he was alleged to have raped her, but it happened in 1921 and no one has any idea. Although police likely questioned Page, no written account of her statement can be found. It is generally accepted that the police determined what happened between the two teenagers was something less than assault. Right, okay, so maybe she was having an affair. Well, not an affair, but, a relationship with him. The authorities conducted a low-key investigation rather than launching a manhunt for her alleged assailant. Afterwards, Page told the police that she would not press charges. Right, okay, yeah. So she was just getting on with this guy. And screamed
That's
rape.
even worse.
Yeah, no.
So it's a modern college campus?
What?
So it kind of sounds like a modern college campus.
Well, not now. They're not having sex at all now, apparently.
Oh, of course not. It's completely frigid. They have to keep 10 feet apart. It's like some sort of purity ring pledge.
Yeah, everyone's just sat there. Yeah, exactly. This is like the Christians won. They're like, look, you guys have got to stop having so much sex. And so the SJW's like, you know what, we're going to have to stop having sex. But for our reasons, not yours.
Feminists are confusing me. Is sex good? Is sex bad? I'm so lost.
Yeah.
No, sex is good. You just can't have it.
But
sex is good. You just can't have it. That's the Catholic view. It's great.
Yeah, but the thing is, this is really bad news for this Rowland guy, right? Because, it's Jim Crow. So he's gets on with this girl. She, I don't even know if she claims to have been assaulted, but I don't think she actually claims to be assaulted. But either way, the men at the time, who obviously were racists, did take it that way, and so he had to flee to. Sorry, let me find it. He fled to his mother's house in the Greenwood neighborhood. The Morning Tulsa Daily World reported on the 3rd of June major points of the interview with the deputy sheriff concerning the events leading up to the riot. Cleaver was the deputy sheriff for Ocmulgee County, not under the supervision of the city police department. His duties mainly involved enforcing law among the coloured people of Greenwood, but he also operated a business as a private investigator. He had previously been dismissed as an investigator. Okay, yeah, so he sucked, right. So they stated, Cleaver named Will Robinson, a dope peddler and all-round bad Negro, as the leader of the armed blacks. What?
All-around bad Negro.
Oh, wait, hang on, sorry. I must have missed a bit there. I thought they were just waffling.
Waffling? No, there's no waffling here.
Yeah, so... Right, okay. He also has the names of 3 others. Right, so they were part of an armed gang who went to a courthouse, allegedly. The rest of the Negroes participating in the fight. Right, okay, that's... So, on the morning after the incident, they found Rowland in Greenwood Avenue and detained him. Pack was one of 2 black officers. Right, so they sent a white officer and a black officer to go and detain him. And at the time, there were 45 black police officers in...
Interesting.
Oh, no, sorry, no. They had 45 police officers and 2 of them were black. Rowland was initially taken to the city jail, 1st of Maine. He received an anonymous telephone... The commissioner received an anonymous telephone call threatening Rowland's life. He ordered probably the girl's dad. He ordered Rowland transferred to the more secure jail on the top floor of Tulsa County Courthouse. Okay. Rowland was well known among attorneys and other legal professionals of the city. who knew him through his work as a shoe shiner. Some witnesses later recounted hearing several attorneys defend Roland in their conversations with one another. One of the men said, "I know that boy. I've known him a good while. That's not in him." Yeah, he was probably getting on with that girl consensually. The Tulsa Tribune, one of the two white-owned papers in Tulsa, that's what makes it a white paper, broke the story in the afternoon's edition with the headline, "Nab Negro for attacking girl in elevator," describing the alleged incident. Right, so it was the papers. Imagine that. According to some witnesses, the same edition of the Tribune included an editorial warning of a potential lynching of Roland, entitled "To Lynch Negro Tonight." Holy shit. The
Jeez.
press has always been cancerous. The paper was known at the time to have had a sensationalist style of news writing. No shit. All original copies of that issue have apparently been destroyed, but the relevant page is missing from the microfilm copy. So the exact content of the column and whether it existed at all remains in dispute. That's very interesting, isn't it? I wonder why. Standoff at the courthouse. So but we'll assume that it was there and it's been hidden for some reason. The afternoon edition of Tribune hit the streets shortly after 3 p.m., and soon news spread of a potential lynching. By 4 p.m., local authorities were on alert. White people began congregating at and near the Tulsa County Courthouse. By sunset, the several hundred white people assembled outside the courthouse appeared to have the makings of a lynch mob. So essentially, the newspaper, has effectively drummed up a lynch mob by merely warning about a lynch mob. The newly elected sheriff was determined to avoid events such as the 1920 lynching of white murder suspect Roy Belton in Tulsa, which had occurred during the term of his predecessor. I'm not familiar with that case. The sheriff took steps to ensure the safety of Roland. McCullough organised his deputies into a defensive formation around Roland, who was terrified, understandably so. One of Scott Ellsworth's references in the 2001 Commission report, the Guthrie Daily Leader, reported that Roland had been taken to the county jail before crowds started to gather. The sheriff positioned 6 of his men armed with rifles and shotguns on the roof of the courthouse. He disabled the building's elevator and had his remaining men barricade themselves at the top of the stairs with orders to shoot any intruders on sight. Man, I tell you what, the white supremacy is really defensive over this black guy who's about to get lynched by a white mob, isn't it? The sheriff went outside and tried to talk to the crowd into going home, but to no avail. According to an account by Scott Ellsworth, the sheriff was hooted down. Jesus. About 8:20 p.m., 3 white men entered the courthouse demanding that Roland be turned over to them. What is wrong with you fucking savages? Even if he did rape her, then he surely is entitled to a fucking trial. This is starting to piss me off now. Although vastly outnumbered by the growing crowd on the street, Sheriff McCullough, I can't pronounce it. It's an Irish name. What do you want from me? Turned the men away. A few blocks away on Greenwood Avenue, members of the black community and known criminals associated with underground gambling houses gathered to discuss the situation at Gurley's Hotel. Given the recent lynching of Belton, a white man accused of murder, they recently believed Roland was greatly risk. Okay, so this lynching of Belton, was he lynched by a group of black people or something? He was an 18-year-old white man arrested in Tulsa with a female accomplice for the hijacking and shooting of a local taxi driver by a group. He was taken to the county jail with a group of armed men after confrontation with the sheriff, who was taken to an isolated area where he was lynched. Okay, but this incident contributed to fears in the black community about treatment by police and whites if any of their members were arrested. Okay, was it black people who lynched him though? He confessed so Nita was.
I've completely forgotten what we're talking about.
Just this.
We're talking about the racism.
Yeah, a race war.
Race war when?
Well, in 1921. Yeah, 1921.
1, 2, 3, 4. I declare a race war. Oh.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know. Apparently, it's important to know which race is lynching who at the moment. So yeah. Anyway, this the standoff begins with these people. The black community to prevent the crowd from lynching Roland, but they divided about tactics. World War I veterans prepared for battle by collecting guns and ammunition. Holy shit, dude. The older, more prosperous men feared a destructive confrontation would cost them dearly. one of them gave a sworn statement to the grand jury, tries to convince them. Right, okay. So, having seen the armed black people, you can see where this is fucking going, can't you? Some more, the roughly 1,000 white people at the courthouse went home for their own guns. Brilliant. Others headed for the National Guard Armory on the 6th Street and Norfolk Avenue, where they planned to arm themselves. The armory contained small arms and ammunition. So the crowd had swollen to 2,000 by the time everyone got back armed. And anxiety on Greenwood Avenue was uprising. Many blacks were worried about the safety of Roland. Small groups of armed black men ventured towards the courthouse in automobiles, partly for reconnaissance and to demonstrate they were prepared to take necessary action to protect Roland. Okay, yeah. I like the way that's written. So they are driving over there armed and being provocative. Okay. Not that justifies anything, but it's like you can see how this pot is boiling, can't you? So many white men interpreted these actions as a Negro uprising and became concerned. Eyewitnesses reported gunshots, presumably fired into the air, increasing in frequency during the evening. And in Greenwood, rumours began to fly that, in particular, a report that white men and women were storming the courthouse. And after 10 p.m., approximately 75 armed black men decided to go to the courthouse and offer their support to the sheriff, who declined their help. According to witnesses, a white man is alleged to have told one of the armed black men to surrender his pistol. The man refused and the shot was fired. The first shot fired may have been accidental or as a warning, but it was a catalyst for an exchange of gunfire. Oh, fuck me. Jesus Christ. What a fucking terrible situation this all is.
Well, yeah, this escalated.
So the gunshots triggered an almost immediate response by the white men, many of whom fired on the black people, who then fired at the white people. This first battle was said to last a few seconds or so. It took as toll as 10 white people and 2 black people lay dead or dying in the street. The black contingent retreated towards Greenwood. A rolling gunfight ensued. The armed white mob pursued the armed black mob towards Greenwood, with many stopping to loot local stores for additional weapons and ammunition. Along the way, bystanders, many of whom were leaving a movie theatre after a show, were caught off guard by the mobs and fled.
It keeps getting worse.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, this is awful. Like, just...
Does it end with, like, a train full of kittens exploding or something?
I will find out, but I've
then the orphanage caught fire.
Honestly,
oh, no, they're
I'm
going
certain.
to the orphanage.
I am absolutely certain. So panic set in as the white mob began firing on any black people in the crowd. Yeah, but to be fair, the black crowd seems to have been firing on the white mob, right? The white mob also shot and killed at least one white man in the confusion. Jesus, idiots. Around 11 p.m., the members of the Oklahoma National Guard unit began to assemble at the armory and organize a plan to subdue the rioters. Several groups had deployed downtown, set up guard at the courthouse, police station, and other public facilities. Members of the local chapter of the American Legion joined in. So the authorities stepped in, basically. And they rounded up numerous black people and took them to the convention hall on Brady Street for detention. While many prominent Tulsans also participated in the riot, including a founder and KKK member, W. Tate Brady. Oh, wow, imagine my shock. Imagine
Wait, the KKK was involved in some way?
Yeah, imagine my shock that all of
No.
the real racists had come out to attack the black people. And I wonder if it was the sort of like Tariq Nasheeds of that time that were out there attacking all the white people. I wonder if this is some coincidence. But yeah, so they were dispersed by the authorities, basically. But some of them were still going in the early hours of the morning, in fact. Groups of armed and white and black people had squared off in gunfights. So the authorities were protecting the sort of institutional buildings, but that didn't stop the roaming, sort of small gangs of them now roaming around on both sides. At this point, the fighting was concentrating along the Frisco tracks, dividing the black and white commercial districts. A rumor circulated that more black people were coming by train from Muskogee to help with an invasion of Tulsa. Yeah, obvious nonsense. At one point, passengers on an incoming train were forced to take cover on the floor of the train cars as they had arrived in the midst of the crossfire. Holy shit! With the train taking hits on both sides, small groups of white people made brief forays by car into Greenwood, indiscriminately firing into businesses and residences. Holy shit! They often received return fire. Meanwhile, white rioters threw lighted oil rags into several buildings along Arch Street, igniting them.
That's right.
Fucking hell, this is insanity. Around 1 p.m., the white mob began setting fires many businesses. No mention of firefighters. Oh, no, wait, sorry. As the crews of the Tulsa Fire Department arrived to put out fires, they were turned away at gunpoint. Oh, Okay. So it would mean a fireman's life to turn a stream of water on one of those Negro buildings. They shot at us all morning when we were trying to do something, but none of my men were hit. There's not a chance in the world to get through that mob into the Negro district. By 4 a.m., an estimated 24 black-owned businesses had been set ablaze. As news travelled among Greenwood residents in the early hours, many began to take up arms in their defence of the neighbourhood, while others began a mass exodus from the city. Throughout the night, both sides continued fighting, sometimes only sporadically. Upon sunrise around 5 a.m., a train whistle sounded. Apparently it was a siren, according to one source. Some rioters believe this sound to be a signal for the rioters to launch an all-out assault on Greenwood. Fucking yes, that's what that means. That's what a train whistle means, you fucking mongs. A white man stepped out from behind a Frisco depot and was fatally shot by a sniper in Greenwood. Crowds of rioters poured on from their shelter on foot and by car into the streets of the black neighborhood. 5 white men in the car led the charge but were killed by a fusillade of gunfire before they had traveled 1 block. Overwhelmed by the sheer number of white people. Jesus.
This is why you need roof Koreans.
This is nuts. It sounds like I'm reading a fucking fantasy story. More black people retreated north on the Greenwood Avenue to the edge of the town. Chaos ensued as terrified residents fled. Rioters shot indiscriminately and killed many residents along the way. Splitting into small groups, they began breaking into houses and buildings, looting. Several black people later testified that the white people broke into occupied homes and ordered the residents out into the street where they could be driven or forced to walk to detention centres. Holy shit. That's a citation needed, I think, though. A rumour spread among white people that the new Mount Zion Baptist Church was being used as a fortress and armory. Wow, these people were just ready to go to war with each other, weren't they? Like, every excuse they can think of to just go to war with one another is just like, oh, the church is being used as an army. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, they're bringing in reinforcements by train. Says who? Dude, like this, honestly, this is the fucking problem with making it so that 2 groups of people have to forcibly stay away from each other. Like, you want your fucking racially segregated safe spaces. They'll start developing mindsets like that lead to this sort of shit. I fucking hate identity politics so much because this is nothing but the result of identity politics.
But they think that these 2 groups are just going to not interact with each other into perpetuity, or
yeah, exactly. They can build a giant wall between each other's.
I mean, the French and the English are separated by a massive channel.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we still can't stop going at it even now. I mean, Article 13 is probably an act of war, but anyway.
So, numerous eyewitnesses described aeroplanes carrying white assailants, don't know how they worked that out, who fired rifles and dropped bombs on buildings, homes, and fleeing families. The privately owned aircraft were dispatched from the nearby Curtis Southwest Field outside Tulsa. Law enforcement officials later said the planes would provide reconnaissance and protect against a Negro uprising.
This sounds like Far Cry DLC.
Yeah, it does.
This is yeah. Are we sure this isn't Far Cry DLC?
Reasonably sure.
Doubt.
But yeah,
Doubt.png.
But this is absolutely batty. This is the perfect argument against identity politics. You don't want any of this shit to happen, do you?
I'm going to have fun with your race war. I'm going to take off.
But yeah, so that I guess that's that answers the question of, is identity politics going to cause anything but bad things? So going back to that Mike article. Yeah, so
back to menstruation.
Yeah, no. That was basically
sorted out the race war.
That was Derek Clifton's thing, basically. So that was Black Wall Street and how it was apparently burned down in a massive race riot that didn't actually have anything to do with Black Wall Street itself.
And that's why Jordan Peele won't have a white actor playing the main role?
I guess so. I mean, at this point, though, like, you don't live under Jim Crow, you don't live under segregation. So black people could legit do what the alt-right basically want to do and just move to an area of the country that is mostly just black people. Just, and have... You could effectively create that by just moving. Just go somewhere. Build a house. Someone else builds another house. You build another house, and you just build this town by just buying land. You could do this. Right, okay, right. I'm going to finish these super chats, so please don't send any more through or anything. Good God, that was a bloody diversion and a half, wasn't it? Benjamin, thank you. I appreciate that. Riddle me this, saga. What makes 13 yet half? I'm afraid I don't know. Not about periods, but look into the Kingpin. Oh, that's where it was. Doctor After has a point menstruate. Yeah, no. Oh no, I was going backwards through them, wasn't I? That's right. Right. Okay. No, I think I'm at the end because I've just got to the can't menstruate if you're always pregnant. Right. Okay. Excellent. Right. Thank you everyone for just hanging out on a lazy shitpost stream. I don't know why I had like 4,000 people watching me just talk shit with Rags and the people who've left. But thanks for joining me, Rags. It's been fun.
Oh, it was a blast. I learned so much about Negro Town.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've learned that segregation is bad. What did you learn?
You know, it's hard to take away anything else besides segregation bad.
It really
It does seem to be a common recurring theme in this tale.
Yeah, and just we need to stop playing identity politics. I'm really fucking sick of it. It's there is just no good outcome to it, and I'm just sick, just fucking sick of it. Anyway, thank you everyone, and I will see you next time.
Yeah, see ya.